Hello?
What's up? What's up?
But the second that bell rings and the first punch gets thrown,
So what happens?
you hit in the back of the head.
Oh.
Don't remember it.
I see like 3-4 people on the floor.
Realizing who really cares about you for you and who cares about you because they have something to gain.
So pretty much, like,
I am here under my own free will. They're being very nice to me. They're the best. Fia especially is not threatening or beating me at all when the camera is off.
The camera's on. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Episode 29. We're almost at 30.
Oh, man.
Boy.
it's heavy.
Yeah.
Getting old.
Way more than heavier.
We have a guest on the couch today. Luigi is here. Hello.
What's up? What's up?
Welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Luigi is Nicolette's first cousin?
Yes.
First cousin. And
Yep.
your mom is her hala?
He's my friend first.
Yep.
And Nicolette's first cousin second.
Yo.
I mean, you want to get technical. We did know each other before you. But, I mean, who's really going to get into semantics over here?
Wait, you didn't really know each other before Nicolette, right?
I knew who he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like a lot
I know his
of
entire family
Oh, okay.
since we were kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Me
okay.
and Benny and Gimme, we did karate when we were kids. I lived with Benny in Florida.
my cousins.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So then you guys
He
were
didn't
super
know all
connected.
that stuff.
I didn't know like all that stuff right until I met him.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually kind of funny how we like quote unquote officially met.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell me.
That's a good story. We were at Chris and Tonka's loft in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a
For like a Christmas party?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's like time for me to meet the rest of the family, and I get there and, I'm thinking Luigi's going to be like a hard ass, just because like he's a
Big
boxer
cousin,
and like big
yeah.
cousin,
Yeah.
whatever. And he comes to me, he's like, who are you? This is after like Nicolette already, like, because I think Luigi, you went to Nicolette initially and was like, go ahead.
Well, I had told her like because I don't have any sisters, right? I'm the oldest of 5 boys. So I used to always tell the girls like, listen, I love you guys like you're my sister. I don't got nobody else. My voice até dois, my voice até hoje. You guys are my sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ever talk to a guy, which is normal, this is not the 80s, the 60s, 50s. Like
You're not
should
doing
talk
the thing
to
like
someone.
don't
There's
talk
no
to guys.
Yeah,
You're
no, I'm
saying
not like
if you
don't.
do.
When you do, not even if.
Yeah, right.
When you talk to somebody, just give me a heads up.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if this person is a scumbag. 90% of the time, I'm gonna know exactly who they are or their family is, and if I don't, I can find out.
Right, yeah.
Just so you know, you see it all the time. People start talking to someone, everyone puts on a real good face, and then a year or two later, they're like, "Oh wow, it was somebody completely different than what I expected." And you can kind of tell who people are by who they hang out with, and for the most part, who their family is. So that was always the thing I told the girls: like, feel comfortable with me. If you don't feel comfortable with anybody else,
Yeah.
you don't got to tell me the day one, but just at some point, give me a little bit of respect. And if I fuck it up, then hey, cool. You never got to
Do it again.
tell me anything ever
Yeah,
again. But
yeah.
let me at least try to, like a big brother type thing. Let me dig into it a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's better that way than you not know and them be a piece of shit and then the girls not know.
And you could have known that. Right.
Right.
Like,
I could
him
have
knowing-
avoided, like, you can't get time back. Time is precious commodity,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
You waste a year or two into a relationship and then you find out, oh man, this guy's a fucking piece of shit. Or, oh, this girl's a piece of shit. It happens both ways.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
But she ended up like telling me, she's like, hey, this guy I'm talking to, blah, 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 we're gonna bring him to Tonky and Chris's place and this and that. She's like, Samir Pudai. And I'm like, Pudai? I'm like, I know Pudais.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know. She's like, yeah, I think you know his cousin Benny and this and that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I know Benny. I know them. I know Sadrio. I know Stevie. I know them. I'm
Yeah, my
like,
uncles,
what's the dad's name and this and that? She's like, all of them. I'm like, oh, all of these. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know him, but I know his dad.
Yeah.
Because my dad knows them. They all hung out back in the day. I think my grandpa and your grandpa knew each other like in Malsi. These guys lived like right by our village. Like they were over, maybe not you, but because you were, how old are you again?
30.
Might have been, I swear to God, because I'm 37.
I may have come.
You may have been, but they used to
I
come
may
to
have
our
come
fest.
over, but not what I
They would
remember.
come to our fest at my parents' house on 14 and Shannon for all
Yeah.
the time. We would see each other at Fest Yamurit, at all the Albanian stuff, demonstrations, all that. Like, it was just like our road dogs, dude,
Yeah.
from like way back. And then we would do karate. Shoot, man, we were kids. We were from like age 5 to like 10.
Wow.
We were doing martial arts at the Nama Karate School. And
Did you get a black belt too?
Mile. No, I wish.
No,
What
Benny,
belt did you
my
get?
cousin
I
and
got up to blue belt.
Wait, what's the order?
Oh, man. Oh, my God. It's white.
There's better than black
White,
too.
yellow, orange. White, yellow, orange, green. Green with a stripe, blue.
Damn, there's a
brown,
lot.
purple, then black. It's different than jiu-jitsu. Yeah, there's a little bit of a different hierarchy.
Because
Those are
isn't
Korean
purple in
martial arts.
jiu-jitsu better than black?
No, it's purple, brown, then black.
Purple, brown, black. But then there's also like bars.
There's
like
bars and
stripes,
stripes,
or whatever,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
Because it goes white, blue, purple. Purple is like the midpoint.
Of
so purple in
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu is where you decide, like, basically, I'm either never going to progress beyond a purple belt, or I'm kind of done with jiu-jitsu, or I'm going to be a black belt.
Right.
Brown is just like, you just pass the next step. It's kind of like, I'm going to get my doctorate, but I have to get this master's before I get this doctorate.
Right. Yeah.
So I got up to that, and it was what, from age 5 to 10? 4 to 10, roughly 5 years.
Wow.
I was number 2 in Michigan, number 12 in the United States at 9.
Damn.
Then I
What
got
In
into
what, karate?
In karate, yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
I got all the old trophies and all that stuff. It was fun, man.
You have a trophy case with all of them?
No, they're scattered between the shed, the garage, the basement,
Oh
and
my
my
God.
parents' house. But when I build the house, I want to do one of
I
these.
remember I used
Yeah.
to sneak in my my cousin's room, Benny, his friend, and he would never be home because he's 10 years older than me, right? So I'd be like 8 years old going there, but he's 18, so of course he's
Right,
out of the
right,
house. So
yeah.
I'm just there. But I'd sneak in his room, and he would have all a bunch of trophies up in his room, and I thought he was the coolest motherfucker on the planet, you know? And then I would sneak under his bed, and he'd have all like nunchucks and the big stick, like a bunch of shit. So
So you guys were legit. Like, it was like
yeah,
for
they were-
real,
I
for
don't know,
real.
he had like a bunch of fucking weapons under there, and I'm like, but I had to like
Weapons.
hide it because anytime I found it, like his mom or his dad would yell at me like, "Don't do that."
Right.
So when
yeah,
I was
yeah.
down in Florida, and this is when him and Natalie were, I don't know if they were engaged yet. They might have been engaged at the time. Or seriously dating, obviously, but I think they were engaged. But we're there, we're messing around. I had my nunchucks with me. Because mind you, I had moved to Florida, so I had my whole life in my car.
Right.
All my stuff and this and that. Benny was like, get the hell out of here. So he's over there twirling them around. He's
The
messing
scissor,
with
the star.
yes, this is what I'm
Okay,
getting to.
right.
So he had the nunchucks, and I had this Chinese star.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Mind you, this is like a 70s bad karate flick. Like where he's over there
Yeah.
spinning the nunchucks, dude. And Natalie's like, you know how to do these? He's like, yeah. He's like, I was a badass motherfucker, you know. He's twirling them. I got a Chinese star in a pouch.
Uh-huh.
It's like a nylon pouch. I'm like, Ben, catch. And I throw it, forgetting this thing is razor sharp.
Oh my God.
And it's nylon. And it hits him right under his nipple.
Oh my
Right?
God.
And he's like, oh. He's like, dude, it stuck me. I'm like, no, man. He's like, yeah. I'm like, damn, my bad. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, shit, it's soft. It's like fabric, you know? He looks down, all of a sudden he's leaking through. He's like, oh my God. He lifts up his shirt. He looks at it, and he's like, all right, it's not bad. I'm just bleeding. He's like, I swear to God, if you would have got me in the nipple loop, we would have had some problems, man.
He's
I
got
was like, yo,
For sure
he's
he
like
wanted
stone
to get
cold.
mad.
Like he looked
Yeah.
and he was
Wanted
like,
to.
I swear, if that was on the nipple, we would have had some problems. I'm like,
It's so funny.
for sure. I'm like, you would have had problems.
He's
'Cause
got
you
a
weren't going to catch
scar.
me. I was going to run like a motherfucker. I'm like, you ain't catching my ass.
Oh
He
my
was like, I
God.
swear, if you got me in the nipple, bro, it's going to be a problem. It was the funniest thing.
That's
It's too
hilarious.
funny.
He's got a scar to this day. Okay,
Maybe,
but
imagine.
Maybe
Let's
it's
get
funny.
back to when you guys met.
Oh,
Okay,
What-
sorry.
what
yeah.
happened? What
That's
happened?
gonna happen a lot.
That's
yeah,
okay.
this
That's,
episode.
that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
So I go there and I didn't know he already had this conversation with Nicolette, whatever. So he comes to me, he's like, "Who are you?" You know, or whatever. Like, he's like, "Fuck." He's like, "Who are you?" Like, he's like, "You're dating? What? Who? What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm dating Nicolette." Blah blah. Like, what's your last name? What? No, what's your name? I'm like, Samir. He's like, Samir what? But he knew at this point, but I
Right,
didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I'm like, Samir Pudai. He's like, "Oh, okay." And then he's like, "You know what?" He's like, "I think you're too good for my cousin." Some shit like that.
I
you
know. So we're talking.
And then right
I'm-
away, I was like happy. And then me and him hit it off that night.
For
Now
like
we're
the
just
first few
drinking.
minutes, I'm asking questions. Oh, that's cool. What do you do? You know, oh,
Right,
this is what I
right.
do. Oh, that's cool, man. I go, no. I go, you know what, dude? We got one problem though. I'm like, it's like, and he was like, what? I'm like, oh man, I don't know how to break it to Nicolette, dude. You're too good for her. man." And this guy started dying.
Yeah, I was so happy.
He
I
was like,
just
Nicolette, you're in trouble.
You put him on his high horse. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
And then for the rest of the night, we're just bullshitting the whole time.
Yeah.
My wife comes up to me. She's like, are you leaving me?
we have a wedding picture you could post
What?
because she'll like add pictures
Oh,
to the
yeah.
video.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I got my
There's
leg around
one.
him.
Yeah, he like.
I think I'm holding the bouquet.
We're taking pictures of everybody, but at one point, like he's holding the bouquet and we're like hugging each other, like me and him are marrying each
Aw,
other.
That's so cute.
I think I texted Nicolette the day before, or I texted him.
Oh, that was funny,
day of
dude.
the wedding,
I could
dude.
probably find that.
What do you? what was it?
I was something along
Where's
the
my
lines of
phone?
like, dude, you can escape. Like I have a plan.
Wait,
like,
didn't you? You sent this. I feel like you sent this to somebody or like the
You
group
might have
chat.
posted it
I
on
think I posted
Instagram,
it.
swear
Oh,
to God.
posted
I think
it?
I posted
yeah,
it,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Nicolette was like, "Damn, it'd be your own family that do it to you, though." I'm basically trying to smuggle him away. Like
He's
you
like,
don't
we
gotta
got. He's
do
like, I
this,
got a
bro.
boat that'll take us to like the submarine, that'll take us to the fucking
To the airplane.
He's
I
like,
got a
with
new
two
identity for
two
you.
Brazilian passports. Me and you could both stay.
We go to
got it
Brazil.
all
They got
planned out.
non-extradition. They won't ask for us back from the United States government.
That's hilarious. Were you sweating up to the point where he was like, you're better than him, or you're too good for her?
I don't know. It was like quick, so I didn't really have time to like be like nervous or something like that. But I knew the family's all good because I know his other brothers too, Frankie.
Yeah, he knew Frankie and Nikki.
Nikki,
and these guys way more.
Yeah, so
there's not much of an age gap, but 7 years at that time, or a couple years ago,
right?
However long it was,
right?
Age gaps get progressively smaller.
Yeah,
like I got friends that hang out there like in their mid 40s.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was 20, it was like they'd be like, no, dude, you're a kid,
Yeah.
If I was 15, but now 30 and 37 is nothing.
I swear.
Right.
And then
Once
when we're 40 and 47, it's even less.
Yeah,
for
it don't
sure.
matter
Yeah.
once you hit that threshold.
Okay, so as you guys can hear, who's listening, we are not doing a fact check right now, and that's because I honestly did not look shit up this week. I did not
really?
have time.
I thought maybe you just didn't.
No,
I thought maybe we were talking too much already.
No, I didn't have. I didn't
Skip
have
the fact
time,
checks.
and then I was like, you know what? I think that you're a talker and you're a talker, and we're gonna get you guys together. We don't need to put
You're
a fact
talker
check,
too.
and I can talk too. So we don't need a fact check. So if you guys have any questions about the last episode, just do it yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. So, but I want to talk about something. We've already kind of touched on it. I sent Samira our talking points today. I don't know much about you because we've met once, I think, at the wedding.
Yeah.
Probably. And I told him
Google me, bro. No.
I texted Samir. I'm like, you might have to help me out with this one. All he said is, he's a talker. Don't worry, we'll be good. But I was like, I'm not like the person. I need to have some talking points, So I told Robert, I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna be with Luigi tomorrow. And he's like, oh, he was a boxer. Ask him about that. So I want to talk about your boxing experience and like that time in your life.
Oh man.
Can you talk me? Okay, so how'd you get into it? You already said that you were in karate and jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Okay. So how'd you get into boxing?
So my dad obviously had me in karate, right? My dad trained at the old Kronk gym back in the day with one of the first Albanian boxers who won the Golden Gloves ever in America.
Oh, wow.
As far as I know. For sure in Michigan. And it was during the time of I want to say it was probably the late 70s, early 80s, which was like the golden era of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody remembers Tommy Hearns because he went to all the Coney Islands and all that. But
I met him a couple times.
Yeah, but Papi Vulaj, Papi Gilles Vulaj actually trained with Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got to meet these guys, I was like, hey, you remember Papo? And he was like, what? That was my guy, this and that. I'm like, yeah, my dad is Mark. He's like, that's your dad?
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, what restaurant you guys own? Was it Zorba's? I'm like, yeah. He's like, get out of here. He's like, you guys are family. Like he knew everybody from that era.
Yeah.
So when I was doing karate is very foot dominant. Obviously, it's kicks, side kicks, roundhouse kicks, all that stuff. My dad was like, you got to learn to keep your hands up. You're gonna learn how to box. He would have me at the house. You can ask Frankie this. Dude. He would put a tire, like a old tire, right, in the middle of the freaking floor, and have us put our feet in it. And we'd be on the tire just throwing jabs, doing it circling. He's like, this is what the old school guys did at Kronk. This is what they did at the gyms.
Oh, damn.
So he would teach me this stuff, which was funny because when I wanted to start boxing, he hated it. Oh, he was so against it.
Why? That's so
Dude,
weird.
he would not
He
let me go
wanted
to
you
the
to
gym.
learn up to the point to like defend
Take care of
yourself.
myself, and then that's it. But when I was like, yeah, I want to I want to be
Actually
like Rocky
pursue
Balboa.
it,
He's
yeah.
like, are you a Buddha, dude? He's like, you want to get your head bashed in? Use your brains for something else. And he don't even speak like that. He speaks perfect English like we do. But I always got to put
But
the
you got to add it so people know you're talking about your
My
dad.
kids are gonna hate me. I'm gonna be like, get over here, boy. I'm like, Dad, you were born here. Shut up, you ass. But no, so I wanted to box when I was younger, 16, 17, 18, all that stuff. He wouldn't let me,
Okay.
right? And I was like an Albanian girl. I was like, I gotta listen to my dad, dude. I can't do nothing. What am I gonna do? He's gonna beat my ass. You know, this guy can fight.
Yeah. He's been trained.
When I moved to Florida, that's when I started boxing.
When was that?
Oh man, 2005.
Can't do the quick math. How old
So
were
I
you?
was
18 years ago.
No, I was 20.
20.
I got started very late. So boxing, usually you start like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, some 4 or 5 years old, like most sports.
Yeah.
I got started very, very late in the game. And I excelled very, very quickly. Within a time span of 2 years, I was a professional.
Wow. What road do you have to take to get there? What are the steps?
So it's different. Like you can literally, as long as you pass a physical, you can kind of get a boxing license and go fight.
Okay.
It's not a good idea. I don't recommend it to anybody because you will get your clock cleaned and probably get very, very hurt. But I went through the amateurs, right? You got a USA Boxing has a thing. You sign up for USA Boxing, kind of like high school wrestling and stuff like that. They have these different tournaments, all sanctioned. But when you really get into boxing, is when you ask people about their smokers. And people who don't know what a smoker is, they're not.
Yeah, I don't know what that
I
is.
don't
Like
know
if
what
you
that
tell
is.
somebody how many smokers have you had, and they're like, "What's that?" That means they're not really doing real boxing. Or
What
they're
is
training
a
at like
smoker?
a suburb gym. A smoker is like an underground, unsanctioned fight,
Okay.
right? And they called them smokers because back in the day in like New York, Detroit, mostly on the East Coast, Midwest, they would smoke cigars and cigarettes in these places, and you'd be fighting. right? So you're an athlete. Imagine a basketball game where
Yeah, a
everybody's
bunch
just
of-
cheating.
Did you watch Creed 3?
Not yet. Don't spoil it for me.
Okay, I can't say nothing. Then.
Okay.
Don't
It's
spoil
good,
it.
man.
I've watched all of them.
It's
I
good.
want to watch
It's
it.
good.
So I had what's known as smokers. So I
Mm-hmm.
had on my official bout sheet, if you look at everything, I was 8-4. Fought 2 times in the Golden Gloves. Fought in Bay City. I fought in a few different places. Coolest one was under the stadium lights and a baseball stadium outdoor.
Oh, damn.
That was sweet. But off the books, I got like 60 of these smoker fights. So I'm 8-4 on the official scorecard.
Right.
But I'm like 67-14 unofficially. I used to fight every weekend, every other weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nuts. It'd be at gyms. It'd be downriver and all over. I mean, everywhere you would have like gym wars. They'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, I got a guy, he weighs 140. I got a guy who weighs 145. Oh, that's cool. 5 pounds is okay. In a professional fight, you have to be within like a pound. You
Right.
have to be dead on.
Yeah.
Especially a title fight, you have to weigh whatever it says. If it's 147, you cannot be not an ounce. Forget an ounce, a half an ounce.
Oh my
They'll make you go sweat it
God.
out. You have to be exactly 147 or less.
That's crazy.
Unless they give you an allowance, which they usually never do for title fights when you get to the higher up pro ranks.
Yeah.
So, oh man, to condense it all. So I started the amateurs in Florida, really fell in love with it, right? And these guys were like, how many years you been boxing for? You know, not to toot my own horn or sound like
No, that's
cocky,
okay.
I'm
I
just
want
telling
you
it real.
to. Yeah.
I was like, no, I just never boxed before. I'm like, I did karate as a kid, but, you know, my dad taught me some stuff in the basement. He's like, you never boxed before. You never stepped in the gym. I'm like, no. He's like, man, you natural. You're pretty good. We're going to set you up with a couple little sparring matches. You mind? I'm like, that's what I came here for. I've been hitting the bag for 2 goddamn weeks. Bring me a body, dude.
Yeah.
Get in there and start fighting. And I'm just going toe-to-toe with this dude, the Mexican immigrant guy.
Wow.
Coolest, I barely spoke English. And I remember he was saying, he was like, man, this guy got a hard-ass right hand. In Spanish, he's like, dinamita. He's like, la derecha. He's like, no, esto no buen. You know? I'm like, what do you mean? What's he saying? No good, no good. He's like, he said your right hand is thunder, but your left hand is a little weak.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's bullshit.
That's
So
motivation
all I
right
did
there.
for the next month was tape my right hand to my body.
Oh
So I
my
took tape and I
God.
literally taped it with the glove, held it up here, and just used my left. And
Wow.
left and left and left. And as the years went by and all that, my left hand became as strong and sometimes stronger than my right. I learned how to dribble a basketball left-handed, how to lay up. I could never do this before. My
Right.
left hand was just there, kot.
Yeah.
You know, it was there to like scratch my face, and it was just there to be there. It was like, hey, how's it going? You know,
Like that
Right.
weight.
to drive. That's it. To drive with. But it was like dead weight. That made this hand, like, I'm ambidextrous. I can write my name. Not good, but I can write my name if I wanted to. Like, it made me very versatile and better in sports in general. So I decided I want to, like, do this for a living, right? And I'm like, you know what, man? I got to move back to Michigan. This is going to suck. I'm going to live off my savings, but I want to do this, but I'm 20. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting started late in the game. So I didn't work for a long time. I would go to my dad's restaurant. I would work there when, you know, whatever, 3, 4, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 and 7. Sometimes I wouldn't show up for a month.
Yeah.
It was very, very, it depended on what fights I had going on. Like, I immersed myself into this.
Yeah.
All I did was eat, sleep, and breathe it. I would wake up in the morning, 5 o'clock. I would go run 6 miles, come back home, eat a little bit, go to bed, wake up, watch video, watch tape on all these old fighters from back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I would study theory on fighting. I would read what fighters would say about. I just like literally like I was becoming a doctor in it.
Yeah.
If I would have put that much effort into school, I'd probably be a friggin' doctor.
Yeah. For
You know?
sure.
But it was something I fell in love with, so it didn't seem like work. It was so, what's the word I'm looking for? I was so
Captivated?
like captivated by it that we'd be out hanging out with the guys, right? And they'd be like, all right, hey, we're going out such and such. I'd be like, okay, I'll show up for a little bit. I'd be there and I would grab a spritzer, or what do they call it? Soda water with a lime. And they'd be like, oh, what are you drinking? Gin and tonic? I'm like, no, it's just tonic.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I got a fight next week. They're like, it's not going to do nothing to you. I'm like, yeah, it is. Oh, just one. I'm like, no, man. I'm like, by the way, I got to leave at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. They're like, what do you mean we just got here? They're like, the girls are showing up this and that. I'm like, sorry, I got to go, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, man, it's okay. You can take one day off. I'm like, yeah. And when I get my ass beat, I'll be thinking about that
That
one
one
day.
day. Yeah. Discipline.
I'll be thinking about that one day.
Yeah,
I was
and even if you, but
uber
even if you lose,
Yeah.
you won't have to look back and be like
if
that
I
one
lose,
day.
I know I lost because the
You
other guy was better.
better
I won't
and
make
you
an
did
excuse.
everything. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we as human beings do that. It will be,
Yeah.
oh, I lost, but it was because of this, but it was because of that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't verbalize it, it's in your head.
It's in your head. Yeah.
It's the most terrifying thing in the world
Yeah.
to go from being in a locker room to make that walk and get into a ring.
Oh my
And
gosh.
for Albanian men,
I have chills.
because we're very, very proud, right? We got egos.
Yeah.
Everyone, hey, my shit don't stink.
Yeah.
That's how we are. And that's a good thing about us. Our women, too. Our women are very proud, very cocky, very, like, I don't want to say arrogant because that is like a bad thing, but
Confident.
we're very, like, we love our people. We
Yeah,
love
yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, for
you know?
sure.
We're very
Yeah.
proud of who we are. And I'll tell you what, I never shit my pants more in my entire life than going from that walk to that ring every single time.
Yeah.
I'm also
Really?
chin hair between my boxing and MMA fights.
Yeah.
You get them butterflies.
Yeah.
And you're thinking
100%.
like, man, you know, I ran 6 miles, but I was like a minute slower than I should have been. And when I sparred, I could have done this. And you know what? I stayed up a little later. 6.5 weeks ago, your brain starts doubting yourself like crazy.
Yeah.
But the second that bell rings and the first punch gets thrown, everything goes out the window, and you're just like, boom,
Is
right
it
in the
tunnel
zone.
vision, complete tunnel vision? You can't hear, see, do anything else besides fight the person in front of you?
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. So it's not tunnel vision per se, like you don't zoom in.
Yeah.
But I would go deaf.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear
That's what I
anything.
want to know.
My very
Yes.
first fight that I had was in Gibraltar Trade Center at up to by the city airport in Romulus.
I know
The
exactly
old,
where it is.
that one. First fight, it's sanctioned. I didn't have any smokers beforehand. Maybe I had one smoker before.
Okay.
I think I had one smoker, like a tune-up. But I was pretty much like, it's my first fight. We get in there. The kid I'm about to fight. So I get there, and they had nobody in my weight class.
Okay.
I
so
was
then
supposed to
what
fight at, so they had 141, and then they had 152.
and what are you at this time?
At that time, I was 144.
Okay.
So I was going to, and there was like a 3-pound allowance. They didn't care one way or another. So I was going to fight at the 141, and they didn't have anybody. So
Okay.
they were like, well, you're going to win by default. There's nobody in your weight, you know, for your
Oh, damn.
sub-novice division.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I'm like, all these people are going to show up. Like, I have to fight somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, well, we don't have anybody for you to fight. I'm like, dude, let me go to the next weight class.
Yeah.
They're like, the guy's going to be like 8 pounds bigger than you. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy's name, Renee. I forget his last name.
Renee.
Mexican dude
Interesting.
from Azteca Boxing
Okay.
in Southwest Detroit. Great guy. Anybody who's a boxer in anywhere in Michigan, Southwest Detroit knows Renee. And he was like, you want to fight that bad? I'm like, yeah, Renee. He's like, if you can get on that scale and show me you're at least 148 pounds, I'll let you fight.
Okay. So what'd you do? Eat?
No. I put on my jeans. I put on my jacket. I grabbed 2 water bottles and put them in there.
Oh my God.
He's looking at me now, right? And he's like, I don't see this. I'm like, I know Renee, and I'm not doing this.
Uh-huh.
Get on the scale. He's like, well, you're 148. Congratulations. You got you a fight in 2 hours.
Oh my God.
I'm like, all right.
So
Took it
how?
off.
So you were 143 and he's 150.
152, and he was like 6'2".
Okay. Okay.
And his brother was a professional boxer
Okay.
who was like 28-0. So this guy had a pedigree that I'm getting ready to fight.
Right, yeah.
Mind you, I only told a few Albanians because I was nervous. About 60 Albanians show up to my fight, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
we're
oh
traveling,
my
especially Albanians.
God. I'm like,
Yeah, we have
everybody
big mouths, all
rolled
of us.
up mob deep, dude.
Yeah.
And I will never forget, dude. I swear I went to the bathroom about 20 times
Yeah.
to pee because I kept getting these little butterflies. And it'd be
Dude.
like a couple squirts.
That
Go
happens
back
to
out.
me.
Oh, man,
and
gotta
I'm
move the
not
cup.
boxing for my
Dude.
Gotta move
life.
the cup. Like, I was like so
happens-
nervous. So
I
nervous.
get nervous before basketball games.
Dude, so you know.
No,
But that's different than like boxing,
Yeah, I was
where
just gonna
someone's
say,
about to beat
before
my
my
ass.
freaking cheer
You know what I'm
competitions,
saying?
I used to literally, I was like, oh, I'm gonna poop my pants because I would be
Yeah,
so
I take.
freaking nervous.
It's
Yeah.
fun, right when I pulled up to my first game because ABL started again.
Yeah.
Like right when I walked in, my teammate sees me. He's like, "What up?" I was like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." He's like, "What? Pregame shits?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Everybody
I have
has
to.
them. Everybody has them.
You know where that comes from? To sidetrack?
No,
It's a
yeah,
sidebar?
yeah.
It's a biological response to like an animalistic biological response to a fight. To
Oh,
combat. So
yeah.
if you ever look at like, because I will love watching like Nat Geo,
Uh-huh.
and Teota when she listens to this probably gonna laugh because she's like, you should be on Jeopardy. She's like, you know so much about things
Random
that don't.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If I could make money off my random stuff, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah.
But I can't monetize any of my knowledge at all. It makes me no money. It's just here for a good conversation.
It's so funny.
So animals, before they get into a fight, will like piss and shit themselves,
Mm.
and then go at it like crazy.
Oh my God.
And that's kind of like our animalistic response from our ancestors from years ago. Before you get ready to go, you void your bowels.
Yeah.
Makes you lighter, you're looser, you're ready to go. You know?
Wow,
Because you know, like if you ever did
interesting.
if you ever like played ball or did a pickup game or volleyball, if you had just ate and then you go to do something, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's sluggish, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So your body is kind of like, let's get this out of there. We
Get
got to go
rid of
handle
it.
some business because we got to survive.
Yeah.
And even though we're, you know, modern human beings and all that, we're still very much primitive as all.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
we revert back to that primitive. So think about for like boxing or for cheer, and then I'm actually getting in there to do combat,
Dude.
and had been in street fights and all that stuff growing up, and a lot of, you know, my friends were like, "Damn, can't wait to see Lou like
Yeah.
do his thing." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so fucking nervous."
So what
So
happens?
what
So what
happened?
happens?
So I get in there. I'm nervous still the whole time. We get face to face. We do the stare down. The bam, bam, bam. They put us in the corner. Ding. The bell rang. I'm still nervous. Get in there. As soon as we threw the first 2 punches, I went deaf.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't hear anybody. All I could hear was my opponent breathing.
Mm.
So I'm in there and I hear,
Yeah.
and I'm over there like, and when I landed, I hear in the background. I'm like,
You're like,
so
okay,
I'm moving.
okay.
I land a big hook. boom, and I hear whoa, and then everything quiet. And I'm inside, and I'm hitting him. Land another shot.
You ever watch any
boom.
boxing
I'm
movies?
literally, that's what I'm thinking right now.
Because when you watch boxing movies, how they zoom in and
Same
then
thing,
they deafen the outside.
It's like when
Yeah.
you're playing Call of Duty and they throw the grenades, like poof,
like a
but you don't
flash
have the
stun
wheel.
grenade.
Yeah.
Everything just goes kind of like.
Yeah.
Hear my coach going 2-3-2, and I run the combination. I hear these guys, and then round ends, ding, go to the corner. I look around, everyone going crazy. Chairs are flying, and they're going nuts. My coach is like bringing me back in. He's like, listen, you got the guy. Like, listen, don't gas yourself out. It's only 2-minute rounds. Work on your jab. I know he's tall. Get on the inside, bust him up. Keep working the body. Get out there for round 2. Again, everything goes deaf. Boom, I'm in there. First shot I land, bam, and I hear Tiananen.
Oh my God.
So it was like I hear these little things in the background. I hear people, and then at some point I hear Luigi, and then it goes deaf again.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I lose the fight.
Okay.
3 rounds.
Okay.
Right? 3 rounds, goes to a decision, he wins. I didn't know the amateur system was scored the way it was. It was like, let's say me and Samir are boxing, right? And I hit 5 jabs on him. And he hits me with an overhand right and knocks me down. I'm winning by 4 points because on the amateurs at that time they changed it now because it got that bad. They wanted to give more points to technique and to skill as opposed to like brute strength and power.
Yeah.
But that started screwing up the professional ranks where boxing fell off for like a good 10-15 years.
Yeah.
Like it was like after Roy Jones there was really nobody out there. You had Mayweather, you had these guys, but they weren't really known per se because of the bigger weight classes. And they end up revamping the amateur program. Now if you're fighting open division, you don't got to wear headgear no more like it was in the 80s and 70s with Sugar Ray Leonard and these older guys. But anyway, so I lose the match and I was like so disappointed. I'm like, oh my God, this I thought I won. Like I even got interviewed by like a local paper and I'm like, I thought I won.
Yeah.
They were like, well, the scorecards, reflected that he landed more in this and that. I'm like, yeah, but I had the harder shots, the more powerful shots. And the guy kind of looked at me like, oh, you don't get the scoring system.
Yeah.
So I get done, and I remember I felt like in the dumps. I was like, damn, man, that sucked. Like, all these guys came over here, and all the Albanians were like, bro, you beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
We don't care what the judges say. And I was like, this is why
Almost
I love
makes you
people,
feel worse.
because they were just like, dude, giving me so much love.
Yeah.
They were giving me so much love that I was like, oh, man, maybe I did do good. Because he went from, like, the extreme highs and lows in the fight game is insane.
Yeah.
You go from feeling like you are the absolute king of the kings to feeling like you are the scum.
Yeah.
Like, losing is the worst.
It's the worst.
It's terrible.
Can't
when you
imagine
win,
that
there
sport
is
too.
nothing better
That
at
it's
all.
such a drug. It's
Dude.
such a drug. Winning is the biggest drug. The adrenaline that it gives you, and when I think about it, is like in golf. You hate golf. You do one good shot. You love golf.
Yep.
And that's like about how it is in sports and winning and all of that. Like you have the worst time, and then you freaking hit that peak, and you're like, this is why I'm doing it.
So I used to wonder why, like, especially fighters, like some of these guys would keep fighting, and they're old, and you can tell they're old, and they're slow, and they're gray. Why are they still doing it?
Yeah.
In their late 30s, and their 40s, and their 50s, and until I walked out and felt that rush of just. And at the time, it was just 50 people, right? When I got into fights like Soaring Eagle Casino and the Palace of Auburn Hills, and I'm training out in California and New York and Chicago, and all these people, you're just looking around and you're like, oh my, it is the biggest high.
Yeah.
And nothing compares to it. So I got it. Like, I understood why someone like Oscar Del Rio will keep fighting well into his retirement age, or why someone will keep fighting. There's no drug like it.
Yeah.
And most fighters, especially fighters or athletes in general, that's why they get hooked on drugs. They're trying to chase the high of that feeling, that thrill,
like,
that rush,
yeah.
and nothing can match it.
Yeah.
Nothing can match it.
What's the largest amount of people that you fought in front of?
Probably the Palace of Auburn Hills, man. It was probably like, it was probably 10,000 people. Damn. It was insane. It was packed. It was like 1,500 Albanians, just Albanians that came.
Yeah.
I mean, the place was packed. The rafters were packed. Looked like
Wow.
a basketball. I mean, it wasn't that packed, obviously.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
sold
yeah.
out. It wasn't. Yeah, right.
But there was a good, like,
Yeah, I mean,
probably
I think the Palace
6, 7, 8,
sat. I think the
9,000
Palace
people.
sat like north of 20,000.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely a half capacity.
But if you get
because the whole
10,000
lower
people,
bowl was
goddamn.
full. The hole where the floor is.
yeah.
The ring is in the middle, like where center court is.
And then they add seats.
They had all the
Yeah.
seats, all the tables, all the VIP, all the rafters. And then they give away a lot of free tickets for the top ones to fill them up because they're going to get money on parking and concessions.
Right,
and
yeah,
this. It was packed.
Wow.
Packed to the gills. And that was probably the worst fight ever. So that was when I first lost in front of a big crowd. It's also my pro debut. First time fighting as a pro.
Oh, wow.
First time fighting as a pro. I had been training. Going into it, I had a broken nose. I had a small hand injury. Most fighters, most athletes are going in with something.
With something.
Yeah.
My nose was straight up broken.
Oh, my gosh. gosh.
Like I was telling my coach, like, listen,
so you just
if I
get
get
touched.
hit and it starts squirting, I just need you because I've done this.
Yeah.
I need you to just take a piece of gauze. Mind you, I had to switch coaches, so I had a lot of managerial issues going on, like all this stuff that you would never think a like O&O boxer is gonna go through.
Yeah.
Like this
Right.
stuff, people trying to steal money from you, people trying to scam you on your contract. That don't happen until you start making money. Or so I thought.
Yeah.
But these guys knew Albanians roll deep and they got money. They're gonna, come spend $50 to watch Lou. Come spend $100. Hell yeah, I'll spend it.
Yeah.
Whereas other people, like, I won't spend $5 to come watch my guy fight for a regular fight.
Yeah.
So they knew Albanians had money and they knew Albanians were gonna spend money, so they were trying to capitalize on it.
Wow.
Right? And I wouldn't sign any contracts with them. I was basically being a free agent. I'm like, I'm not signing shit. So you guys come with the right dollar amount.
Yeah.
And I was still working part time. So imagine like LeBron James having to go work 8-hour shift at the Coney and then go play, against the Suns. or
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's such being a fighter is such a different. Like we tell me you're an athlete, you're an athlete, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're not an athlete. Like I can tell everyone I was a professional athlete.
Yeah, for sure.
Legitimately, you can look it up. It's there. I have a federal ID,
Uh-huh.
the whole nine. But I was a professional athlete and had to have a day job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's wild.
It's like the only sport that happens.
Well, it makes sense.
That's
They say that
wild.
about basketball players back then, like, but they used to say like Jordan used to go up against like firemen and
Yeah.
construction workers and painters because
Yeah.
like back then these players like in the 70s and 80s they weren't
making that money.
they weren't making
40
enough
grand.
money,
Yeah.
so they would
That
they
is
would
money.
have day
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild. Oh my gosh. That's
So
wild.
so I get out there, right? It's crazy, it's different, it's awesome. And first round, everyone that was there, and when I rewatched it, they were like, dude, you looked like a pay-per-view fighter.
Uh-huh.
The guy landed 3 punches to my 64.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just peppering this guy with just working him.
Oh, at Auburn Hills you're talking about. Fuck.
So I did the worst thing that a fighter can do. I sat down, I looked at the crowd, and I said, oh my God, I got to knock this guy out for everybody.
Oh no.
And my coach
Oh.
looked at me and said, whatever you do, don't go knocking this guy out. It'll come to you. He'll fall into it. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, yep. And in my head, I was like, nope. Got to get the highlight reel knockout.
Oh my god.
So I go in there, I got my hand down.
Because you're killing him, so you feel confident. It's
I'm killing
almost
him. I
like
get on the inside, I start killing him. I knock his mouthpiece out. I'm going. And I hear my coach yell, left hook, right hand. And I throw the hardest left hook I ever threw in my entire life, which I shouldn't have. And it missed. Just barely, right? I pulled it a little bit because I was baiting him in. Throw it. Just misses. I overturn it. And as I come back, I get hit in the back of the head.
Oh.
Don't remember it. So back of the head shot is illegal,
yeah.
right? Ref didn't catch it. Not making no excuses.
Yeah.
Should've had my hand up. But I got caught.
It
in the back of the
happens.
head.
We see it in
Yeah.
fights.
So I hit the deck, right? First time I ever been knocked down in my entire life. I'm talking street fights.
Wow.
Just the only time I got knocked down is my mom and dad beat my ass.
And that's because you're just covering up.
I was just covering up. So I just remember the ref going 3, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to 1 and 2? And then 4, and I pop up, right? Because I'm like, oh shit, I got to get up.
Yeah.
I pop up, and I feel my leg like, oh, and I'm like, oh.
And then he calls it.
So like, no, he didn't yet. I popped up, and I was like, oh no, he's going to call it because I'm going to stumble. So I got down, I'm looking at the ref. He's like 5. I'm like, yep. He's like 6. I'm like, cool, I'm going to take my little 8.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
yeah.
7. I get up, put my hands up. I start walking. He's like 8. I'm like, I'm good. And he goes like this. He waves it off.
And then calls it.
I grab him. I'm trying to fight the ref.
Oh
I'm
my
pissed. I get out the
God.
ring. I go in the back. My boy, who was the headliner, grabs the ref by the neck and starts choking him.
You're lying.
He's like, he starts choking him.
Oh my god.
He was like, "What did you do?" He got up. Were we watching the same fight? He beat the count. The man took his count and got up. He's like, "Cole, I had to. You know, his eye moved." He's like, "His eye moved nothing, motherfucker." He's like, he's grabbed me. He's like, "Lou, don't let this kid do down, bro." He's like,
Oh my god.
"I'm telling you, as a guy with 25 fights, and my boy was 25-0 with like 20 knockouts.
Wow.
World beater. He fought Canelo in Mexico.
No
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Yeah, before Canelo became like the Canelo we know, when Canelo was still fighting at 147.
Wow.
He goes, "Don't let that get you down." He's like, "You looked amazing. That was just a lucky shot, bro. He hit you in the back of the head on top of it." And he goes, "And that's illegal on top of it." He's,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
yelling at the ref, dude. He's like, "I got it all on tape. We'll watch it together."
Wow.
So the come down from that was devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was
Demoralizing.
concussed. I was for sure concussed.
Yeah.
I'm getting driven home, and I got my cousins with me. They're driving me home, and I was just like, man. And the whole time I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys." They're like, "For what?" I'm like, "I let everyone down."
Yeah.
They're like, "You didn't let anyone down, man. You went out there, you did your thing." They're like, we couldn't believe it. Like, you were beating this guy's ass in
Yeah.
just one shot. I'm like, "Yeah, that's the game, man." I'm like, "All right." So they dropped me off at my daughter's. I'm staying at my daughter's house at the time. And I remember walking in, and I was just like, wow, I let everyone down, dude. I got embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I embarrassed myself. I embarrassed everybody. Like, came out there with the flag. I was like so hyped, and I was like, I feel like I let everybody down.
Yeah.
You know? And I just remember being like, damn, dude, I'm a bitch. Like, this fucking sucks.
How'd you get out of that?
I don't remember, to be honest. But I remember like the next day I woke up and I was like, all right. I'm alive.
Yeah.
It's okay. Look at my phone. And I'm like, man, it's pretty dry.
Yeah.
Except for a couple people. My kumara, obviously my brother.
Yeah.
You know, my dog. Like close family was like, hey, you okay? Everything's good. Don't worry about it. Whatever. And my kumara was like, what's up, dude? Like nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
I'm like, what's up? Nothing. He's like, shit, chilling, this and that, this and that. Wouldn't even talk about the fight. I'm like, so what do you think? He's like, I think you fucking did great, man. You just got caught.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you getting upset for?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man. It just, it sucks. He's like, when's the next one? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, man, let me know when the next one is. Like, till then, don't call me. One of those. And so when you get KO'd or stopped or TKO'd or anything like that, it's a mandatory 30-day suspension. So you can't fight for 30 days. And then after that, you can fight. I fought literally right after. Like, I had it lined up maybe like 3 months later.
Okay.
So it went from having thousands of people couldn't wait to come to my fights, begging for tickets. Now I got this one on Soaring Eagle Casino at Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Who's going to televise it.
Okay.
Right? So it's at a casino, dope as hell. So I can't get anybody to want to come.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Except my cousin Tommy Vajelyoshit. My cousin Tommy Jokai was like, I don't care where you fight, I'm going to come. Tommy drove all the way from the restaurant.
It's like a 4-hour drive, right?
To Soaring Eagle,
two and a
about 3.
half, 3.
He drove from the restaurant in Sterling all the way up to Soaring Eagle. And if you watch the video online on YouTube, he's wearing a Detroit baseball jersey with a Detroit fitted.
Wow.
You can see him in the crowd.
You can see him in the back. And I get there, I beat this brakes off this kid, knock him out in a minute 10. Right, so my comeback is good. I come back and wax this guy, right? Spank him. Tommy's like, that's what you should have done to the other guy. He's like, you could have done this. He goes, you got a little too excited. You looked for the knockout. This one, you waited for it. That's the only difference. He goes, that's what you got to do to get back on track. Don't worry about nothing else.
Yeah.
Right? Have my next fight. Tommy's there.
Wow.
Then my cousin Ani and his dad, Adrian Prax, and these guys, they came to the next one in Detroit. They showed up. Then the next one, more people showed up. Then I get into MMA. More people show up. More, this and that. When I say it, you don't know how lonely it, when they say you don't know how lonely it is at the top, you don't know how lonely it is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Dude, at the top, it was like everybody wanted to like be around me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They were like, man, Lou's going to be a pay-per-view. He's going to be rich. He's going to be this, that. Guys want to hang out with you. Girls want to be with you. Like, I didn't have to slide in anybody's DM. Sorry, Toot. Sorry, it's way before I met you.
Was sliding in your DMs.
No, yeah, kind of. But no, it was one of those things, literally.
Yeah.
So it was like everybody wanted to be around me. Lost that fight, desert, dry, nothing. But it was the best thing in the world because as a fighter, you got to believe your own hype. You got to believe that like, you're better than any. Like I would walk into a room, I would never say it or act like it, but I was like, I can kill everybody in this room, no problem at all.
Yeah.
My friends would be like, yo, can you beat that guy?
You got to think you're the
Yeah.
best. That's what
Can you
people
beat a
don't
better?
understand.
Yeah.
When you're like, you have to.
Because we talked about this.
Yeah.
You have to think you're the
Because
best.
if you
baddest
don't,
person
then
in
you're
the
not.
world.
Even
you're
if you're
not
not.
you're never gonna win.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're never.
In any sport.
Yeah.
That's why,
Asked me,
like,
how come? Why don't we get into a fight? Let's get into a fight. I'm like,
you
I don't want
know,
to fight.
I
Yeah.
used to,
Yeah.
You know,
like,
I'm so twisted. I want to fight somebody who's been training for 6 weeks.
100%.
That's how messed up I am in the head. Because you got to be a little fucked up to want to be a fighter.
I
for
think so.
basketball, I was never that good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But like for AAU, I played one summer on an AAU team with like, I was like one of the worst on the team. But we went to like this camp in like Ohio or like this tournament in Ohio. I was like the worst player there. And these guys are like they have the biggest attitude. You would think they're LeBron James,
Yeah.
the personality they had. But that's the personality. And like I remember like thinking like, you have to be like that. You have to think you're the shit.
Yeah.
If you want to make it, you can still be humble. Like you said,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
walk
there's ways
into
to be
don't walk
humble.
into a party
Yeah.
and like voice your
Yeah.
you're the
Yeah.
shit.
When I started boxing,
But,
I
like-
think I'd only, from that time to present, I think I'd only been in like 3 or 4 street fights. From the time I started boxing
Wow.
to present, maybe 5, right?
Yeah.
Legitimate fights. Not like, no, like grab a guy, throw. Like
Yeah.
legitimate knock someone the fuck out. And before that, probably 30, you know? And when I started fighting, I was like, oh, most people don't actually know how to fight.
Yeah.
They don't. We think we do. And it's a tough thing for men, especially Albanian men, to be like, you really don't know how to fight. It's like, what do you mean? And I would have guys be like, come to the gym, dude.
That reminds me of a funny
Come to the
story
gym.
too.
They will come to the gym. I swear, I'd let them lace up, and I will play defense and play with them.
Yeah.
And I would jab them and move. And 30 seconds later, when they got tired, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
now you see that? What's wrong? You're getting, oh, man, I'm tired. I'm tired. No. Tashni said puna. Now we got 2.5 minutes. Let's go. And I was like, this is why you got to understand, like, be humble in everything you do,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't know who the fuck the next guy is.
Yeah.
You know, when
Still
I had,
believe in yourself. Still be confident.
dude, I had a guy one
yeah,
time at
but-
Stony Creek be like, oh, yeah, but that boxing is different. You know, in the street, you know, and I was kind of like playing him off. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, street's so much more dangerous. You can do whatever you want. He's like, yeah, exactly. There's no rules. And he just kept saying stuff. So I was like, all right, now I'm going to be an asshole. Because this guy's kind of like checking me. Yeah. He's saying he was basically saying I could beat your ass if we fought right now.
Yeah.
So I just looked at him and I was like, oh, you think that's the case? I'm like, because there's no rules. Rules is what keeps you alive.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I can't kill you in the ring.
Yeah.
I can kill you right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, matter of fact, hold on one second. I got 6 pairs of gloves in the car. Let's have a fucking fight right here, right now.
Uh-huh.
We'll put the gloves on and we do whatever you want. Oh, no. I'm like, no. Hold on one second. I walk all the way to the parking lot. I grab my bag. I put them on. I go, here, go pick whichever ones you want. He's like, yeah, dude, pick the gloves. Put them on. Go ahead. Put them on. Just me and you. In front of all these people. If you're nervous, we'll go in the woods.
Oh my God.
But only one of us is walking out, and I promise it ain't gonna be you.
Yeah.
And that's where that like cocky, you can hear it right now, that little arrogance.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, don't fucking like, I'm giving you a way out. Just be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
But you want to call my card?
yeah.
Go ahead. We're gonna.
Especially someone that's not actually a trained boxer
At
or
all.
fighter or anything. He's
At
talking
all.
about
And we're there
street
for a good
fighting
time.
here.
We're going there to play volleyball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
can we tell
yeah.
the story in at Bosco's?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it's Coney's birthday.
I was married at the time. This is a
was
great way
married at the- and
for
he-
all you people who
Oh.
are newlyweds or about to be. This is the
Newlywed. You were like 6 months
6
married.
months married, and I just left my Visa Halls engagement party.
So this is where like I like
Stone
really met
sober.
him.
This is the worst way to start off a marriage, just as a preface.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So it was Coney's birthday, whatever, and we're at Bosco's. They got a booth or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm there. I don't even know if I'm 21 yet. This might be his 21st birthday. Maybe I'm 20 with like a
Okay.
fake
I was
ID.
going to 21st.
Okay, so I wasn't 21 because he's older than me.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So, right. So I get in there, whatever. We're having a great night. Everything's fine. Perfect. We're all having a blast. I don't know what time it is, but I go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But everything's great. Lights are off. I go to the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom. All the lights are on.
Oh God.
So I'm like, okay. I literally remember walking out and be like, oh, must be 2 a.m.
Right.
Time
yeah.
to go home.
Yeah. Closing time.
So I'm like walking. I look. I see like 3-4 people on the floor. Things broken. Everybody in like
Oh my
disarray, whatever. And I'm like, what the like?
What happened?
What happened? And then I come outside, and all of a sudden, like,
I'm getting arrested.
he's getting arrested.
Oh my gosh.
Frankie's cussing. His brother's cussing somebody out. Somebody else is cussing somebody. I don't know, dude. Like, so go ahead.
What happened?
Yeah, so
I missed what happened.
Nah,
Yeah.
he told me this at Chris's party when we first met officially. He's
Right,
like, I
right.
actually met you before. I'm like, really? Where? He's like, at Bosco. I'm like, oh shit.
You're like, that's not good.
I'm
First
like, that's
one,
how we
is it?
first met. He's like, yeah, dude. I walked out. Everyone was partying. It was that. I came back. There were bodies on the floor, and you're getting arrested. I was like, oh, great, dude.
Oh my God.
Fucking awesome way to introduce myself.
Yeah.
What happened though? How did
Long
lead
story
up
short,
to that?
people drink too much.
Yeah.
Right? I was stone sober. This
Yeah.
guy starts arguing, yada, yada, yada. Happens to be off-duty cop.
Oh,
Right.
oh no.
Yeah, and he's talking shit. I got a gun. I got this. I got that. So I see this going on, and I had like told Taylor right before we got married, I was like, listen, if we're ever out and I tell you like go to the car, don't ask questions.
she was there
Go.
too.
She was there.
Right, right.
Yeah, she
Oh,
was there.
okay.
So I was like, don't ask questions, just go. You know, because her girlfriends had come from college, her college roommates, her best friends.
Okay.
So we were down there hanging out, and then we were all getting ready to leave. It was like 1:30-ish. So I'm like, I got to go because nothing good happens after 2.
Yeah.
Especially I'm out with my wife.
I learned that a long time ago too. Yeah.
You know, with my wife out there especially, and I was always like nervous in the beginning because I'm like, damn, like, what do I do if some guy tries to hit on her? It's different.
Yeah, yeah,
you
it's
know,
weird,
when
yeah.
you're married. A girl that you're just like, whatever, kicking it with, you're still going to get pissed. But I was like, I don't know how I'm going to
It's
react in this
different,
situation.
yeah.
I never had it happen. I'm
Yeah.
going to go berserk. I don't know. So I had to give her this whole talk. Like, if a fight happens, do whatever you do, stay the hell away from me, first off, because I don't want you catching an elbow. Or don't be that girl that tries
That
to,
tries
like,
to
break
get
shit
in
up.
there,
Right,
yeah.
Until it was like, oh, don't worry. You ain't got to worry about me. I'm not going to break up none of that stuff. Yeah. But I was like, if I tell you to go, you got to like straight up beeline it. So we're getting ready to go. And this guy's like kind of going back and forth with my brother, Frankie. And I see it. I'm like, shit. I'm like, go to the car. She's like, okay. I give her the keys. So she goes over there. I walk over and I'm like, what's going on? And Frankie kind of gives me this look. And I'm like, fuck. All right, this is not good. Come to find out after, this guy was like, I'm a cop. I got my gun. I'll fucking shoot you. What are you going to do? So I'm like, hey, man, let's all go home, bro. Everything's good. You know? This guy turns around, and I can see he's just wasted. So I put my hands out, right?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, oh, that's very defensive. That's very like, whoa. No, I'm measuring you.
Oh my God.
This is the difference between somebody who knows how to fight and doesn't.
Oh,
I put my
wow.
hand out, and it looks like I'm scared. Like, oh, please don't. Oh, no, I'm measuring you.
Yeah.
Now I know exactly how far away I have to fucking lay you the hell out.
Wow.
Right? So I know my distance. So I got my distance measured out. This
Wow.
guy looks at me and goes, what are you going to do?
Oh my god.
And he goes, and as soon as he puts his hand on my shoulder, I hit him with an elbow.
Oh my god.
Right, because I was a little too close for the uppercut.
Uh-huh.
Now, all these calculations are happening in like split seconds.
Uh-huh.
So he puts his hand on my shoulder, I catch him with an elbow, stick volley, lay this guy.
This guy, what
Wow.
was it the black guy I'm thinking of, or who was this guy?
That was outside. The other guy
That was outside,
Yeah,
okay.
that was outside.
Okay.
Because the black guy was like 6'4".
The white guy was like 6'4" jack.
Who? The white guy or the black guy?
The white guy.
The white guy was 6'4" jack.
was
I remember there was
the
somebody
black guy, his name
6'4"
was
jack.
Moose. He was just big.
Okay.
But this guy, this cop was a little beefy too. He was about $190, 200, stocky dude. Hit him, turned him into putty.
Wow.
And coming to find out after, I didn't know till after. Frank was telling me, yeah, this guy was talking about this, that, and another. I'm like, wow. He looked for it and he found it.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready to get out, and I'm telling him, like, hey, nobody touched me and we're good.
Yeah.
Because everyone's kind of like, holy shit. I'm leaving. I'm like, sorry. We're good. We're walking out. I'm not going to get into certain details because of statutes of limitations.
Yeah.
But at some point, Frankie got sucker punched, and he's on the ground, right? And he's trying to kick this guy. And this big-ass white boy, fucking like 6'4", 250, is about to just jump on him like MMA style.
Oh, my
right? So I
gosh.
see that. Mind you, I'm holding a bouncer at the other time because I just knocked another one out.
Oh, my
I
God.
got like slightly hit, and I just felt it like a Mies, and I turned around and just one-shotted this guy. Bam. Done.
Like a fly.
Yeah,
Mies is
I
like a
felt
fly.
like a little,
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
little.
yeah.
I felt like
I
a
was
little
saying, I was saying to the
like,
listeners.
bam! And then that's when they were like, okay, this guy, so now I'm like, okay, now I got half the bar wanting to fight me.
Yeah.
Get out there, and this big bouncer is going to bum rush. I grab him, right, and I got him underhooked. And mind you, I'm big now. I'm literally 40 pounds heavier than when I fought.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 pounds. I fought at 140, 145. I'm about 175, 180. So I got this guy, holding him, and he's like, okay, we're good, just let me go. I turn around. See Frankie kicking the guy. This guy trying to jump on him. Look left, look right. Hit this guy with a left uppercut. Shatter his orbital bone.
Oh my god.
Right? This guy hits the deck. Cooked. Boy runs up. Like his boy runs up to blindside me after I hit this guy. I was like, bam. And this is the measuring stick.
Yeah.
Stuck my hand out, blinded him, and threw a right hand, and he ran into it.
Oh my
Right?
god.
He ran into it so hard that he stopped dead in his tracks. And where his feet was, he planted with his face straight on the ground, like face down, ass up. And when that happened, this is on the outside. Right, bouncers got no business being on the outside of a place. Their job is to bounce the inside, get everyone the fuck out. Well, these guys decided they wanted to be Mr. fucking tough guy, Mr. fucking I'm cool, I'm gonna show off, and the littlest guy in the place fucking swept everyone out. So this is where I fucked up, and this is where ego can be your biggest asset and your biggest liability.
Right.
Do all that, pick my brother up. I'm like, you good? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I gotta go, dude. I'm like, I got my wife in the car, I got my gun in the car. Mind you, I hadn't drank all night. I was stone sober. I just came from my Voice That Dice engagement party.
Yeah.
I was wearing a suit.
Yeah.
So I'm walking, and who do I see after? Because I grab my brother, straighten him out. Everything's good. Start seeing the lights because I was like, who hit you? And he's like, I think that guy. So I start running down Woodward. Right. And I'm just like, I got this like devilish grin. Like, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to kill this guy. I'm going to whisper sweet nothings into his ear as I smash him to the floor.
Oh my god.
And I see lights. I'm like, oh, time to go. Go back. Mind you, the whole thing takes like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
From the knocking the guy on the inside to the outside, 2-3 minutes tops.
Whoa.
Right?
I
Which
miss
is-
everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
that's all.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The whole thing.
I'm talking, and when I from the time I threw the first elbow to the time I got arrested, 3 minutes.
Wow.
It feels like 40. Fights happen
Imagine
very fast.
walking away.
Walked
Imagine
in to
walking
pee.
away.
Probably had to wait for a couple people who got
Yeah,
there. washed
dude,
their
I'm
hands, came
telling
out
you.
and
It
was
had
like,
to have been 3 minutes
the
tops.
hell?
I'm telling you.
Oh
I'm
my
telling you.
God.
I leave.
Tops.
It's dark. Everyone's having a good time. I come back. I know how the fight started too.
Yeah.
Like it was some girl sat at our booth.
They had no business being there.
They had no business being. And Tommy Natsulai was like, "Hey, get up," or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
either Tommy or Frank. Someone said
something,
But from my
whatever.
memory, it was
I don't
Tommy
remember either
Natsulai
because I
I
was talking to my
remember
buddy I
telling
played soccer with.
I remember telling Tommy like the next day, "You started that," and Tommy didn't fight nobody.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
But I love Tommy Natsulai. But
Oh,
anyways.
that's
So
funny.
I'm walking back now, right? I'm walking back to the car. I'm like, oh, I'm good, Who's right as I'm walking? The guys I just pieced up. They're leaking. They're fucked up. They're holding each other. And one of the guys goes, that's the guy right there. Let's get him. So I keep walking. They're like, yeah, where you going now, pussy, huh? You scared because there's 3 of us or 2 of us or something like that?
No.
Again, ego. I stop and I turn and I was like, oh. So I get to break a sweat now.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, let's go. You guys want to run it back? And I square up.
Oh my gosh.
These guys ran
Uh-huh.
to get the cops. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, shit. I start walking, and I feel that little hand on my back. Anybody who's been arrested knows that little lower hand on the lower back and the hand on the shoulder. Cop was like, excuse me, son, you got to come over this way. I'm like, oh, no, officer, I'm parked over here.
Uh-huh.
He's like, no, you got to come over here. I'm like, no, man. I'm like, look, my car's over here. And then he gets serious. He's like, we doing this the hard way? Or are we doing this the easy way? I'm like, no, sir, we are not doing this the hard way. I'll go wherever you want me to go.
Right.
He's like, cool. He's like, come over here. Takes me to the car. He's like, put your hands behind your back. I'm like, for what? He's like, I'll tell you later. I'm like, hey, man, I didn't do anything. I'm lying. Some girl's like, hey, he didn't do anything. I'm like, yeah, listen to her. I didn't do anything. They clink me up. They put me in a squad car. I'm like, God damn it, man. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
And I pan and look over. Who do I see? My wife's sitting over there like. I'm like, oh, it's a great way to start marriage.
Oh, my God.
Like, and I always tell her, I'm like, this look she had was like, of like this sad puppy dog, like stuck in the window. Like,
I didn't do nothing about
my
it.
poor husband, I'm still in love with him. It's our first year. Like,
my God.
I don't hate him yet, you know?
That's
and she's
so
just looking
funny.
and I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm like, okay. So I go there. I have to, like, I need my phone call. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let me call her. I'm like, dude, go home, go to the safe, get cash. Get me out now because if they keep me, I'm stuck till Monday.
Yeah.
Because it's the weekend.
It's a weekend, yeah.
Get bailed out. Like, court takes care of all this crap. Like, no charges, no this, no that.
Yeah.
Everything got dropped.
Initially, I got charged with assault with great intent to do bodily harm less than murder.
Oh, my God.
And then everybody was like, oh, it's because you're a boxer. Your hands are registered. What? That's all a myth. Like, your hands are not technically registered.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's funny
Like, I don't
'cause I
got
was
to go
gonna
there and
make
like
that joke.
have them line them up. But the court does kind of look at like people who know how to fight. Like they do look at it like similar to if I grab the beer bottle and hit somebody.
Right, yeah.
Not exactly because
Yeah.
they can't say my hand is a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I don't think anybody's really ever got tried for that. But you can be like they'll look at it a little more heavily because
What about like Bruce Lee? Like, is he's not allowed to?
Nah. Even like Brock Lesnar, John
Yeah,
Jones.
no.
None of it. There's nothing.
You would
There
think
might
like
be
there-
certain statutes in places that have like
There
local
might be,
statutes
yeah, right.
and stuff like that. But it's not a real thing. It's just a myth that came up like in the 70s with karate
Right.
and stuff.
Wow.
Because guys would like break boards and be like, "Yeah, I'm a lethal weapon, bro. I'm a lethal." And I used to mess with people. They'd be like, "Are your hands registered?" I'm like, "Listen, I had to go in there. They had to fingerprint me and then take pictures of my hands.
My knuckles.
So if I hit somebody, they
Open
match
and
up
close.
the knuckles
Oh, my
on
God.
the face." And they're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like,
That's
I would have
so
been a
funny.
great like car salesman or storyteller or
Yeah.
whatever, because I had this guy tell me, yeah, man, they had to x-ray all my, because this guy was just adamantly convinced that my hands were registered lethal weapons.
Oh, my
And
God.
I'm like, okay, I'm just going to lay it on thick for him, dude, and make it so preposterous that he's going to
Yeah.
be like, oh, yeah, it's pretty dumb.
It's dumb as hell, yeah.
But like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
And again, ego, it was a little bit of ego. I could have been home, could have gone right there, you know?
Yeah, but
Damn.
you had to do what you had to do in
hindsight's
that
20/20.
moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because I looked at T and I was like, you
Yeah.
know?
I made for a funny
She was
podcast
like,
story.
yeah.
Yeah.
Driving home, she's like, well, that was a fun night because my wife's hilarious, dude. Right? It's 4:30 in the morning, mind you. By the
Yeah.
time all is said and done, she's like, well, that was a fun night. I'm like, yeah, it
Who would have
was.
known 10 years later you're telling a story
Yeah.
on a podcast? It's
Oh,
funny.
dude, her thing is she's like, shit, I never should have bailed you out. Should have left you there. I'd be free now.
3 days by herself.
She got 3 days. She probably would have gone home and been like, Dad, this guy's an animal.
If she had
Oh.
enough time to think, yeah.
You know what? Because you were asking what kept me going, and I just remembered kind of with boxing.
Yeah.
So I lost that fight, right? The first one.
Uh-huh.
And I remember everybody was like, just boom, dry.
Mm.
So how life is funny. My father-in-law, I knew him before I knew my wife.
Mm.
He came to my fights.
Okay.
And also he was boys with like my dad and my Auge and these guys. They're all friends. Like they're all homies back in the day. They all ran in the similar circles, right? So I go to I want to say it was a wedding. I had gotten invited to a wedding. And I show up. Everybody's like, oh shit. This guy just got knocked out 2 days ago and he's at a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what's going on? And Kai's like, oh man, I can't believe that happened. And oh, that sucked. And all those, you know, other people I could see them like laughing, the assholes by the bar over there, like,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Boxer, you know. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I remember that, dude. Don't worry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I might not say nothing, but I got
That
along
feeling
with
got to
them.
be so shitty,
Oh,
dude. Like, because
my
you know
God.
people are talking shit.
Yeah,
I
you know for a
100%.
They're
fact.
talking shit.
You know
Yeah.
for
But you know
a
what's
fact.
funny? The same guys that were talking shit, and I'll never mention names. The same guys that were talking shit a year later were on my dick, harder than any bitch ever was.
Of course.
On my dick. Especially when I
That's
got
how
into
it
MMA and
goes.
I'm powerbombing guys, breaking their ribs. I'm smashing them, I'm elbowing them. I'm training with the UFC out in California. I'm training with down in Florida. I'm trying out for the XFC or XFL in Chicago. Oh, then it was everyone's back on my dick.
Everyone loves you again, yeah.
And that's when I realized the ones that are with you when you're at your lowest are going to be there when you're at the top of the top.
Yeah.
Because it got real scattery and scary once I lost that first fight.
Mm-hmm.
But my inner circle that's never gotten bigger since that day, were there no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's how you really realize who the real is. And I tell everyone that was the best thing that ever happened to me because you start believing your own hype like we were talking about earlier. maybe I would have been just so cocky and been like, oh yeah, everybody does love me. Everybody does
Yeah.
give a shit about me.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
wonder, how do people blow through all this money on their entourage?
Yeah.
They really feel like them people give a shit.
Yeah.
And I'm a kind of person where I love to be around good people and good energy and good vibes.
Right, like when Mike Tyson's undefeated,
Yeah.
30-0, knocking everybody out.
Everybody wants to be right around.
And then,
Right.
everybody's his boy. But
Yeah.
if he lost that third fight,
So I see my father-in-law, right? I had never met Teuta at this point at all.
Okay.
Right? I didn't even know who she was. He was looking at me. He's like, damn, man. He's like, can I ask you something? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what? Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
He's like, you lost the fight. I'm like, I'm surprised you're here. I was like, you know what, Mark? I was going to be here if I won. And if I won, we'd all be partying. Guys would be buying me shots, drinks, this and that. I'm like, you don't see that happening, do you? He's like, yo, Presumpton, I'm buying you a drink. Fuck them. He goes,
Aw.
this is before he was even an idea of being my father-in-law.
Yeah.
I'm like 22 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Right? So we get a drink. We're sitting there, and he's like, I swear to God, kid. He's like, and I can't call you kid yet. You're a man. He goes, but compared to me, like, I could be your dad. you know?
Yeah.
He's like, you got balls, man.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I swear to God, I don't think I could show up after something like that. At least not 2 days later. He's like, but damn, you don't got a mark on your face. He's like, he really did just get a lucky fucking punch.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was the other thing too. I'm like, people would be like, oh, he got his ass beat.
Yeah.
I'm like, but everyone knows I was here, not a mark on me. I'm like, so they can't say I got my ass beat. I lost the fight.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I definitely didn't get my ass beat.
Yeah.
But I got
Yeah.
knocked down
Wow.
for sure. You
Wow.
know?
Yeah. Everything came full circle. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then, when I meet Teuta and we start talking and all that, and she's like, oh, I want to tell my dad and whatever. And I was like, I got his number.
You're like, don't worry about
She's
it.
like, what? She tells her dad. Her dad's like, shit, I had his number before you did.
Oh, that's so
That's dope.
funny.
Like, it's
That's
the
dope.
funniest little story.
That's great.
And
That's
she's always
great.
like, yeah, my dad and my husband love each other more than
Then
me and him do.
Yeah. But I was gonna say that I was like, it's kind of good that you lost because you weren't searching for that knockout anymore
Right.
because of that night,
Right.
and then you weren't because the crowd didn't keep showing up, so they weren't
Dude, I won
like they
every
weren't
single
a
fight after that.
factor in you wanting to fight.
I never
anymore.
lost a fight ever again.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Never lost a fight ever again.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, two more questions about fighting. One is, what is the worst injury you've ever gotten?
Oh man.
We know you broke your nose.
Yeah, that was easy. That was nothing. I literally was on one side and I cracked it back over to the other.
Oh my god.
It was disgusting. But there was a guy who was in jail for 11 years, saw me fix my nose and said, that's the nastiest thing he'd ever seen. And he was in jail for 11 years.
Oh my god.
So I had to
you
jam my
see some-
finger all the way up there, brace it, pop it. I didn't have insurance.
Oh
I
my
had to pop my nose back over,
gosh.
it's leaking and gushing, and I'm like, I'm good, Worst injury, damn. In boxing, my thumb. I separated my thumb,
Ugh.
but that wasn't the worst. It was an MMA injury.
What was it?
I separated my AC joint, type 3-4 separation.
Where's
Guy
the
was-
AC joint?
AC joint is right here.
Oh god, shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder. So because this one is a soccer injury, which that's the more injuries I got in soccer, I swear to God, than all my fights.
No way.
Soccer is a brutal sport. Fractured ankles, broken ankles, dislocated shoulders,
bad knees. Yeah.
bad knees.
Yeah.
Soccer is devastating.
Yeah.
So this one right here, I'll show you later. You can see like the bone
Okay.
sticks just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Guy was doing a judo throw, and he was way bigger than me. And he was trying to show how you can throw it like with full technique and speed, but not power.
Uh-huh.
And he slipped and fell on top of me. So I put my arm down. All of a sudden, my arm shot up like this, and I had to pop it back in place. Chiropractor straightened it up. Who was in the crowd?
Oh
I had to tape it. And then 8 weeks later, I fought at Masonic Temple
Oh my
with a bad arm, thinking it was good, and went to throw the first hook and it got stuck.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh no, I can't throw my hook like up here.
Uh-huh.
So I had to change my whole tactics like mid-fight.
Oh
And
my
like
god.
switch southpaw and do all these different things to do whatever I had to do. But that was probably the worst one because I didn't realize how bad it was.
Yeah.
And it was bad, dude. Like, you watch the movies about like guy gets shot in the shoulder and he's dragging himself. and
Yeah.
You're like, Paul, shoot me in the arm. President, don't ever shoot me in the arm.
Yeah, no.
Shoot me in my pinky toe before you shoot me in the arm. Because when I separated my arm, I got up and we had just opened this gym, so there was like 300 people like for the grand opening.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, hey, I need Billy to come in. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm playing it off. I'm laughing. Haha. I get up. As soon as I close the door, I was like,
Oh my
like I'm
god.
dragging, and I'm like, oh my god, this thing is like way up here.
Yeah.
Like it looked like I had a second head.
Oh my god.
Like it was up here, and then I popped it back down. One of the doctors came, like, did some stuff, threw it back in, pushed it back, and he was like, yeah. He's like, you probably spun your clavicle or separated this and that.
Oh my god.
Come to find out after the X-rays and all, it was a type 3, type 4 separation. Would have needed surgery, but when you're broke.
Yeah.
You figure out my sword shit.
So you
like
never got
Albanian
it?
style, how to just fix it with tape.
You never got surgery?
Hell no. Tape,
my
moonshine,
A little bit.
some Michaliakna.
That's funny.
Like,
Okay.
that's probably the worst injury.
And then last question is what can you take away from like that experience that you still like is relevant today in life, just everyday life?
Everything. It's hard to narrow one thing. So much of life revolves around that, just with discipline, with hunger, with drive, with learning people psychology, realizing who really cares about you for you, and who cares about you because they have something to gain. Right? You got people that like want to see you do good, but they never want to see you do better than them. The second you do better than them, they got a problem. But you're doing good, and they're okay with that. Whereas like me and my friends, and I see it with you guys, and it's awesome to see that next generation like live up to these things that some of ours didn't, and some did. We all like give each other dap and give each other props. Like we try to uplift everybody.
Yeah.
Like I want to see you do good. I want to see this guy do better than me.
Yeah.
And when he does, we're like, dude, I'm so glad you're doing so good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you that you bought this $1 million home. I'm so happy for you that you finally got the car you'd always talked about when we were kids.
Yeah.
And I'm nowhere near that guy's level, you know, but I'm like genuinely so happy for him. And then I have my success and he's like, man, you did it. And it's like, that's true love.
Yeah.
That's real love.
Yeah.
That's genuine friendship. We're like, I could call on these guys for anything. 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I could be like, yo, dude, get a shovel, get a bag. I need you.
Yeah.
And they'll be there.
Yeah.
Or I could just call and be like, hey, man, I'm having a really fucked up day. I'm sorry I woke you up. You know, I know you guys, like, we all got kids.
Yeah.
And he could be like, it's okay, man. What do you need? You know?
Yeah.
Like and that, like fighting taught me that. It taught me that, everyone else was fake. It was all an agenda, man. From the girls to the friends to the guys buying you drinks to... You get so many freebies because people just want to, like, you know. So I feel like it just taught me everything, and also you realize what you can take. You know, like who said it? It was either Joe Louis or Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Right? I had all these ideas about my career, my life. Like, oh, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna do this. Once I get to this level, I'm gonna start doing like this philanthropy that I always wanted to do, and these humanitarian things that I wanted to do, and these things for Albanian culture that I wanted to do, and start. You know, a school for Albanians and teach them how to speak Albanian, keep the culture going as we live in America. I had all these crazy ideas.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And it was like, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to change directions over here. It's kind of one of those things like you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think God had anything to do with it.
No.
At all.
No. Yeah.
In anything. Like, I don't think if I would have prayed to him and been like, help me win the fight, I would have won.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I have a whole, and we can get into that. I have a whole different concept of God. It's
In
like,
religion.
Really?
Yeah, man. I'm like, more like
I'd like
God,
to know that.
God, there's like 10,000 roads. We'll get into it.
Okay.
It's like a whole, huh?
Let's talk about
We
that.
can talk
Right
about
now?
that. I like that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Kinda.
wait. I
You
have
got-
one more question. Sorry,
Yeah.
really quick about boxing. Will you let you have a son?
Yeah.
Will you let him do it?
He started jiu-jitsu last year.
All right.
And he wrestles
Okay.
for the...
I see you post wrestling matches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
he like 2-0 from what I saw? I saw.
No,
two-
he's...
he won the
8-3.
last two matches.
He
Or
was
is there
4-0
winners
his
and
first turn.
losers?
He's 4-0. Yeah, he's 39 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a little pipsqueak, dude.
Oh my god.
So he won his first tournament 4-0. Then he won his next tournament 3-1 or 2-1, 3-1, and then he lost his last tournament. Lost two of them, won one, but he lost the first match, and he had to win the second match to get to the third. And I told him, I was like, Bubby, you have to win this one if you want to do the next one. Otherwise, you're done. He's like, oh, I'm not doing 4. I'm like, no, Bubby, there's a lot of kids for this one. So to get to the next round, you have to beat this kid. Okay, Bub. And he went out and stuck the kid and pinned him.
Yeah.
He goes, Bubby, are you so proud? I'm like, yeah, Bubby, I'm so proud. He's like,
That is how he talks, too.
even if I would have lost, I'm like, Bubby, I want you to win, but I just want you to try your hardest. As long as you try 100%, Bubby's okay with it. You know, because I see the other parents.
So
that are
he
like,
knows-
like they're crazy. Wrestling moms are insane. Dude, they're insane. They're out of their fucking minds.
Oh my gosh.
So and he wins and he goes to the round 3. Right? He makes it. So he had that like thing, I have to win to get it. So I'm starting to see that little bit of hunger in him. Because he's such like a happy-go-lucky kid. And like, you know, internally I want to be like, do this.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't say shit.
Yeah.
I sit far away so I don't like start like
Still
being, like,
super young.
yeah, still I want him to enjoy it. He has to enjoy it because I don't want to burn him out. Maybe he doesn't want to do it next year.
Yeah.
I want to expose this kid to everything. Let him try everything he wants in the world, and then he's like, Bubby, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Bet.
That's a good idea.
100%. I got one rule though: when you start something, you're finishing it.
Yeah.
Like if you start in the season, ballet, and you're like, yo, I don't like this. This is for girls. Well, you know what? You're gonna be wearing a tutu till the end of the season.
Yep.
Like when the season's done, you never got to do it again.
That's exactly how
But
my
you're not
mom
gonna
was.
quit.
My mom was like that because every year for cheer, me and Bita at midway through would be like, we don't want to do it anymore because it was intense. I know it sounds fucking stupid. I say it all the time whenever we talk about it, but our cheer was intense. We would go home, we'd just be like gassed, like we're done. We were so tired. We don't know. My mom would be like, well, you can quit after the season. You're not quitting now.
Yeah.
You have a team. They're depending on you. You're not quitting now.
Right.
Yep.
That's it. That's that.
So he does that. And I would absolutely let him. But I don't think I would let him spar hard until he was like maybe 10, 11.
Yeah.
And that comes from Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart is one of the Hall of Fame boxing trainers, trained Tommy Hearns, trained Mike Tyson. This guy's just got it. You can look him up. Literally, Emmanuel Stewart has a pedigree of like one of the greatest trainers of all time in the history of the sport. And he had told me, he was like, because we were talking, and I was like, yeah, I got started late in the game. I'm like, got started when I was 20.
Yeah.
And Manuel was like, you know what? You're like a old lady's car that was like taken care of in the garage.
Yeah.
Some of these guys got rent-a-car miles on them. Like, that's why they retire when they're 30.
Yeah.
He's like, so it's not a bad thing. He goes, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't let the kids spar hard till they were like 12. We didn't know about like concussions and
Right.
CTE and
Right.
brain damage and punch drunk.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we had these kids 8 years old fighting like pit bulls. He's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But that's what made them
Mm-hmm.
like the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
But you hear them now and they're like, they talk a little fucked up.
Yeah.
And you hear me
100%.
and I've had, 70, 80 fights and I talk fairly well.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so. I think you're doing good.
And it's like, what's the difference? The difference was I had good defense.
Yeah.
I did brain stimulations. I would read.
Mhm.
I did things to like keep my mind sharp because you had sparring days where after I was like, huh, what?
Yeah.
I felt like out of it.
Mhm.
Totally like, wow, something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
But my coach was like, take a couple days off. You're not sparring today. No, I'm good. I didn't ask you, bro.
Yeah.
You're going to do what I tell you.
Yeah.
It's
So-
good.
It's good that
Yeah,
you
it
had
was a
those
good-
people
I had
there.
a
Yeah.
good coach and
Yeah.
starting to research things. It was like, oh man, after hard sparring sessions, you're literally getting
That CTE
little
shit is just
hematomas.
new. That's like
CTE is new, dude.
That's like
Yeah.
the first time people heard about
But
that.
you know
was
when
like
you
5
spar
years ago.
hard, your brain is absolutely bleeding after that sparring session.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely 100%. You're taking a 16-ounce glove and you're smashing into another person's face.
Oh gosh.
They're finding out you're getting little micro bleeds from hitting a soccer ball.
Yeah.
Ball's coming in the air with gravity.
Yeah, oh,
right?
that shit
20,
used
30
to
miles an
hurt,
hour, it's
dog.
still- and you're hitting it,
Yeah, yeah.
you're getting rattled.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. If the ball hits you, you're hurt.
Yeah.
You know, you got to
Yeah,
attack
yeah,
the
yeah.
ball, but like that shit hurt.
Basketball, jumping up and down, hitting the ground like that, over and over and over. It's a lot less, but you're rattling the brain.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's concussive force.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And they're coming out with so many different things. Like they're like, wow, you don't realize how fragile the human body is. You also don't realize how tough
It is.
to
Yeah.
take that kind of
Yeah.
abuse.
Oh my gosh.
Some shots I've been hit with. Where I was
Kudos
like,
to
"Oi."
you. I could never. That's so cool.
Mm.
What a cool experience to have and to be able to like
Yeah.
share.
I'm happy you came on now because we just watched Creed 3.
Yeah, you're like
So,
in that
like,
high.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Because like you getting like once you watch like a boxing match or something, then you like the next 3 movies you watch, you're watching like
Boxing,
Cinderella
fighting.
Man and Raging
Yeah.
Bull.
Yeah, yeah.
You
yeah.
know, like
They should make a movie about the smokers.
well, the reason I asked him, did you watch Creed 3? And this isn't a spoiler.
Yeah.
But the scene, I was gonna ask you if you did watch it, was that a smoker match right in the beginning? So let me know when you do watch
Okay.
it.
It probably was.
I think the first scene. I don't want to tell you
Yeah.
anything. I just there's
Yeah.
right in the beginning. Yeah.
Oh yeah, smokers was a thing. That's how you got guys that. So like, the guy I fought for the Golden Gloves the second time, and if I would have won, we would have gone to the regionals.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what happens after the regionals. But once you get to the regionals and win, you're on the Olympic pool team, and there's like 20 guys or 15 guys out of that weight class, and that's what they select to fight for the Olympics for the United States boxing team. And I should have waited 4 more years, but I was already in my 20s, and I was like, man, I don't want to be 26, 27, 28. I had this whole like Albanian mentality, like I got to get married before I'm 30. I
Right.
want to get married before I'm 30 and start having a family and kids. And,
Yeah.
yo, how am I going to ask a girl you want to get married? And I got $800 to my name.
Yeah.
Where I'm only making, $1,500 a month. Like she's
Yeah.
gonna be like, "What? I make more than that in a weekend waitressing."
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, "What am I bringing to the table other than hopes and aspirations?" So I was like, I had to like fast track all this shit. So instead of waiting 4 more years to maybe make the Olympics, I was like, I'm gonna go pro right after.
Yeah.
So the guy I fought was 44-4, right? Junior Olympic champion, Golden Glove champion. His dad trained with Floyd Mayweather Sr. His dad was stablemates with Floyd Mayweather's dad, and he knew Floyd Mayweather and all these guys. And his son had actually off the books, like I said, like I was like 67-14. This guy was really like 180 and like 12.
Damn.
He had like 200 fights
Wow.
between the smokers and the non-smokers. So like The smokers is kind of like scrimmaging.
Yeah.
You know, you have your sparring matches like.
Was there gambling going on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff in the background. The guys would put a couple bucks, a couple this, a couple that. Hell, even when I trained the Lions for those 5 seasons in boxing, and I was like, they wanted to spar, right? So I was like, I can't hit you guys, but I'll play defense because they were like, why is Mayweather so good?
Yeah.
I was like, I'll play Mayweather. You know, I'll do the shoulder roll, I'll tuck and roll him, but I guarantee not one of you guys is gonna land a headshot. They were like, what? I was like, you got 30
The
seconds.
Lions?
The Detroit Lions.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I trained
okay.
from 2010 to 2015. I trained the Lions in the off season on Wednesdays at Allen Park and Saturdays at Liquid Gym. Like I wish they would have done Hard Knocks then.
Yeah,
That
right.
would've been
Dope.
sick,
That would have
yeah.
been dope. Yeah.
So we're there, right? And these guys, I'm like, 30 seconds. Not one of you guys is gonna land a headshot. They're like, what? I'm like, put money on it. These guys are like, hold on. They go to the locker room. They come back and they're breaking out. They're
oh
like,
my gosh.
boom. One of the linebackers, 300 pounds, gets in there, dude. He's beating on me. I'm ducking, moving, sliding, catching his shots, spinning, bam. I'm like 30 next. I'm like, come on, guys. You got to do better. And mind you, these are professional NFL players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also a pro in my own respect.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
So I get in there. I'm like, come on. Somebody got it. Let's go. And they're getting hyped now, right? Because we're athletes. And pro athletes respect pro athletes, right?
Absolutely.
So we're in that same, like, environment. Next guy gets in. I'm like, bam, same thing. I'm like, come on. I'm like, somebody got to make me break a sweat. I'm like, a motherfucking Lions from Detroit. I'm like, can't do shit to a white boy from the burbs. I'm like, come on, man. I hear the guy in the background. You ain't white, man. You Albanian. It's different.
You spicy white.
They get in there. Boop, 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 boop. They're doing their thing. I swear to God, ran through 10 of them.
Oh my
10
god.
of them. Now, one guy landed a headshot. Titus Young came close. But he started hitting me in the kidney. I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, I wanted to uppercut
going
him in
for
the face.
headshot.
And the strength coach was like, you should have hit him. I was like, no, man. I'm like, my cousins that got fantasy league, if I would have hurt one of their guys, would have killed me. NFL guys couldn't land a shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, here's the difference. I go, that's why Floyd Mayweather is so hard to hit. I go, now think about this. Floyd Mayweather will beat the shit out of me and play with me like a cat does a ball of yarn. They're like, for real? I'm like, dog, I got no delusions of grandeur. I go, me going up against Floyd, I go, it's like a high school team going against y'all scrimmaging.
Yeah.
And they were like, damn. I'm like, yeah, that's the difference in the levels, bro. There's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
So the smokers.
Okay.
So it'd be like me and Samir sparring. We're going to go hard. We're going to hit each other. We're going to try to go real hard, but we're not going to try to knock each other out.
Yeah.
Even when me and my cousin Anton used to go, we would go at it. For something we would try. People were surprised that we were cousins.
Yeah.
My homeboys, they were like.
This is like in a gym.
In
you
the
guys are
gym.
doing?
And
Okay.
we're sparring our asses off. We get done, we hug each other. They're like, yo, man, that was a great match. I'm like, yeah, that's my little cousin right here. They're like, wait a minute, y'all family?
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, that's my straight up cousin. Like his grandpa, my grandpa are brothers.
Wow.
They're like, damn, I hate to see what the fuck y'all do to people you don't like.
That's hilarious.
But when you have a smoker, you're going in there trying to knock that guy the fuck out. Like
Yeah.
it's a real fight. And
Yeah.
you need that experience. You know, you need that before just sparring and training.
Right.
Because you're going to go a little lighter on your training partner.
Yeah.
And it's so different. 'Cause I've seen guys like training up here in the suburbs that are asking me like, oh, I want to be a fighter. I want to be that. I'm like, okay, cool. Train here. There's a couple gyms. You know, Pete Bidishai, shout out to Pete. Got a really good gym as far as Krav Maga, boxing, all that stuff right there on Van Dyke. KMD, Black Mountain Defense. Awesome. But when he was getting ready for his first amateur boxing match, he came with me for 6 months in Detroit.
Yeah.
In Southwest Detroit. And we were training all day, every day on the west side, in the hood, with the top fighters in the state, in the country.
Wow.
Because that's what you have to do if you want to take this shit seriously.
Wow.
You can do it for the sport. You can do it for getting in shape. But if you want to become a professional and have any degree of success, you have to have these life and death damn near fights. Where you're
Wow.
brawling and going the fuck at it and trying to knock each other the hell out. Because that's what your opponent's going to do.
Yeah.
to you. And if you don't play hard, if you don't practice hard, you're never going to fight hard.
Such a crazy sport.
Dude, it's insane. It's the last gladiator sport in the world.
I was gonna say like it's like old time
Yeah.
gladiator, like fight to the death type shit.
Yeah. And MMA is like that too, but MMA it's different because there's so much different. There's wrestling, there's kickboxing, there's
Yeah.
boxing. But it's very, very all combat sports. It's
Yeah.
literally like the last combat sport in the world, man.
Yeah.
And
Did you like boxing more than MMA or no?
I loved the science of it, and like I loved like okay, I got two hands and I got to do it.
The strategy
I
of
gotta
it.
figure it out. But I loved MMA because it was like this guy might have better hands than me, but I can kick you.
Yeah.
I can shoot in and take
See,
you
that's
down.
why I'd be good at
elbow
MMA. I
you,
can kick some people.
You know. Because there'll be times I tie up with the guy, I'm like, I could hip toss you so easy right now. Or
Yeah.
like with MMA, there's so many variances like, shit, my hands are working good, but damn, this guy's wrestling me to the ground and my wrestling is not as good. I got to do something different.
Yeah.
So I would switch it up.
Okay, so sorry. I feel bad because we keep talking about this freaking fighting shit, but I'm so interested. So when you transitioned from boxing to MMA, how was the training? Like, was it hard to?
Fish and water. I feel like it was the next natural progression.
Okay.
Evolution.
Okay.
So I started off with karate. and then I got into boxing. So I mastered to an extent. Well, boxing I mastered. Karate I hadn't mastered per se. They say you have to do something for like 10,000 hours to become an expert and master at it. Definitely had that in boxing in spades.
Yeah.
In spades.
Yeah, 100%. And in karate, I would
Were
say
we
I was,
teammates in spades or who?
I think we were.
Yeah.
And in karate, I was close, but 5 years of karate as opposed to this 5 years of condensed boxing of literally imagine working like 80 hours a week and now do 80 hours a week of just training. And then when I'm watching TV, it's all about fighting. And I'm watching videos all about fighting. And I'm reading
You just consume it
consuming
constantly.
it 24/7, 365. And where MMA was lacking the most was the hands. You didn't have guys that were these pros at boxing. They were mostly wrestlers, jiu-jitsu guys, or kickboxers getting into it.
Yeah.
And a kickboxer and a boxer is a night and day difference.
Yeah.
Going from karate to boxing to now MMA. Oh, I can kick. So I'm a boxer who can kick.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes me very, very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
I also can wrestle a little. Got into jiu-jitsu, got up to a blue belt. It's like, okay, now this guy is a boxer who can kick and he can grapple. And oh shit, now he's training with some wrestlers from like the MSU wrestling team. Wow. Okay, now he's in California. He's training with Mac Danzig, Fabricio Verdum, Frank Trigg. Okay. It's crazy. So I would spar some of these MMA guys that were in the UFC, had UFC contracts, won the Ultimate Fighter. Like you can look up Mac Dan, you can look up all these guys. They wanted to box with me, so we would box, and I would look like Roy Jones in his prime. Like just they couldn't.
I don't know
hit me.
who Roy Jones is,
Down,
but I'm happy for him.
Pulling and rolling and flashing, and bat. I just look beautiful, right? And they're like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, dude, I could only see your punches on the way back. They're like, damn, it's fucking crazy. I'm like, oh, thank you, this and that. Then we started doing MMA training and just grappling. So now they go from my world, which is boxing, I go to their world, and I'm like, damn.
You're like defeated.
I feel like I'm being drowned right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like this guy's like an anaconda. He's strangling the shit out of me.
Oh my
Then
God.
we go into MMA. Now I can tie it all together. The boxing, this while we're standing, I got him. We're doing okay. I'm always going to go to the ground. Now that's where you're struggling and getting up and going. And it's so cool to be like feeling like you're king of the world at 1 second, and then, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die the next.
Yeah.
Because that's what tapping is. When you tap, it's saying, I acknowledge that if you wanted to, you could kill me right now or break one of my limbs. So like fighters, there's like a thing, I think on Rogan, he was like, oh yeah, I've died 1,000 times. That's why I'm not afraid of death. Because every time a guy's got your neck and he's choking, and you go,
and you tap,
let's go.
That means.
So I died.
Yeah.
I died right there.
Wow.
Probably died 30 times last training session.
Right.
So like you died so many times.
That's
you no longer
interesting,
fear
right?
Yeah,
death.
that is,
You're like
yeah.
a warrior who no longer fears death. And it's just a cool thing. That's why I love MMA, because it's like everything can change like that.
Yeah.
It's so versatile. It's like the next evolution, and it's real fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like,
nothing
I'll be
about it,
fighting,
but I
I'm gonna box
love
somebody, but I'm gonna hit him
watching.
with a chair. Do what I got to do.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about boxing or UFC or MMA or anything like that, but love watching it.
Yeah.
You just love watching
It's
like
intense,
warriors
it's
just
cool,
go
yeah,
at it.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
What do you think? Do you know Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis?
Coin flip.
I want Ryan Garcia. You know why I want Ryan Garcia?
His chin is a little questionable. Davis,
Yeah,
because
he got dropped that one time.
Yeah, but I mean, both guys are.
I want Ryan Garcia because I saw him first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like one of those things.
I don't got a dog in the fight. I just want to see a good fight.
I want to see a
I
good
hate when
fight.
two guys match up and it's just boring.
I want to see a
Yeah.
good fight. I was pissed about the John Jones. It was so quick.
Yeah,
It was
a little
sweet
quick.
for him.
It was
I mean,
quick.
you
think it's
want
gonna be the Stipe is gonna be a good one. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pee.
Yeah, go pee. And then we'll move on from this.
Series 2
Hey,
about
part 2. Save
It's
it for
part
another
2.
week.
Yeah, imagine.
Take a week off.
Oh my God.
Series 2 about Jesus and God.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 30. No. Okay, so let's move on from boxing because we've been talking about that for quite a while. Thanks for sharing that experience.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
sick. That was sick.
It's good.
But
That's fun.
let's go back to your theory, not theory, but take on God and religion. I want to touch on
Yeah,
that.
so we like touched on it briefly where I was like, oh yeah, like I didn't, tell God your plans, you want to make him laugh. I go, but that had nothing to do with like my fight or never. I was never like, and we've all done it, like, oh God, please, let me pass my test, or oh please,
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
let me
yeah.
do this,
Right.
or oh please, God. But I have a unique like perspective on that, I guess, and it's come over time. I don't know, maybe it was because I too much religion. 6 years in Catholic school of being taught one way or another way, and you start like.
You went to Catholic school?
Yeah, I went to St. Anne for 2 years, went to De La Salle for 4.
Okay.
Played soccer.
Okay.
All that stuff. But my thing on God is like I read a lot too. So like, I've read the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
I've read a little bit. Well, the Torah is technically the Old Testament.
Okay.
But I've read things on like Hindu,
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism, Taoism, a lot of stuff. Because I was like a Bruce Lee like nut.
Yeah.
So Bruce Lee was into like everything. This guy read all kinds of stuff like
Mhm.
Hare Krishna, the all kinds of his quotes on theory and philosophy, and was like very Eastern, and he had some Western stuff in there, dabbled in there too. But like my theory on God is that he doesn't like intercede. He just kind of chills. Right? Like when they said like whether you believe Garden of Eden, all that other stuff or whatever, I think it's all just stories.
Yeah.
And the reason I believe that is because before you had Islam or Catholicism or Christianity or all these religions, we were all pagans. And that proves it in our culture, right? Albanians, before we were ever anything, we were pagan. We believed in zona te moli, like the zona, the orda, the this and that. People, when they read the coffees and when they do all these things like that our grandparents and great-grandparents do, it's like, it's all old stuff. My grandma's got a tattoo of a little moon and a little star. Both my grandmas. And I asked them, what is that about? And it was just like, oh, that's like what they did.
Yeah.
And some have a cross and some have this. But if you look in old, like Illyrian text, there was like stars and moons and serpents and this and that because we believed in, we're like Native Americans.
Yeah.
You believe in all these different things, right? And they just did it. They had their different gods. You had to pray to this one for that. And you had the Orda, which were like the little, I think the Orda was kind of like the mystical, like your aura, basically.
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
spirits
ask.
of the mountains,
Yeah.
the Orda te moli, like the mountain spirits.
Okay.
Then you had like the Zana, were kind of like the little fairies, like the little troublemakers.
Yeah,
and
she took the
this.
zona.
Yeah. And then
Oh
you
my
just think about these
God.
phrases that we say that we don't realize, like shit off the Zana, like the
What,
Zana
isn't
issue.
so?
Then you had the Stringa, you had the witches.
right.
Wait,
ones that
let's,
would curse
let's,
you.
let's
That shit, that
translate
would
this
curse you.
for
I
the
believe in like the Striga and
non-Albanians.
all that. So zona.
They're like leprechauns
I heard
in a
But
way,
how-
but they're
but
not.
how-
I heard a
leprechauns.
story in the mountains.
But let's translate the phrases for them.
Shitufte zona is like, that's like
Like I hope one of the
I know.
Zanas fucks with
like
you.
zona
Yeah.
got like blame it on zon, like she got to you.
Yeah.
Almost,
yeah.
like
Like
she
she
got
thought the
to,
zona,
like
like,
if you
oh,
do
the
something
zona-
wrong, like she got to you.
Yeah.
They
So-
tempted you to do this.
Yeah,
in a way
yeah,
type
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So there was
Blame it on the
there's a, you know,
Zana.
like that, you
Blame
know,
it on the Zana.
like mountain.
My new phrase.
The people that live in the mountains are like, they're crazy people.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like different world. You know, but
We're all mountain folk, though.
there was a story like in my family, someone in my family like saw a zana.
Okay. What
Like,
does he
you
look
know,
like, or she?
But is that like an excuse because he did something like
he did something fucked
troublesome,
up.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like, but like,
But you
it's
hear
just
those
funny,
stories.
But it's funny you hear those stories. And like
Yeah.
Striga, like dude, like I know multiple stories about like witches. You know, they're mainly other people's stories.
Yeah.
So I feel I don't
Dude,
want.
my grandma
I
posted
don't want to tell other people's stories.
Right.
that passed away was like she was like an atypical like malsorde grandma.
Yeah.
Like, walked around with a rosary. Always had her apron, and I never saw her in pants.
Yeah.
You know, she wore a rub, babushka for like the longest, but then she got modernized and wouldn't wear it.
Yeah.
You know, but she still wore her dress and
But
her
you put,
apron.
like garlic in your.
No,
soup
when I was
before weddings
really
and shit?
young, when I was very, very little, I think when I was super
No,
little.
dude, I used to do that.
Yeah,
my
when I
mom would
was
give it to
super,
me.
super little. Keep the evil eye away,
Keep
dude.
the evil eye away.
Yeah.
At weddings?
At weddings.
Yeah, someone
Wait.
can put a curse on you.
No, they just wanted to keep their baby boys at home because you're gonna smell with garlic in
No,
your
but
pocket.
you don't smell it. It's like a little. It's like unlike.
It's like a little, it
it's
doesn't smell a little.
So,
They put it in
you
the
know, when you
diaper.
cut it.
Yeah.
When kids are born, there's like a red string they put on the wrist
Yep.
to keep
Yep,
away like
red.
you know,
Yeah.
and that came from like old stuff, right? Kids would die and they had no explanation for it.
Yeah.
Before science and all that. What was SIDS
Yeah.
100 years ago?
Yeah.
And you got to remember where we come from. You know, in Shibni Malsi and all that is 50 years ago was really like 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Like my dad told me that we didn't have running water, electricity, or a toilet.
Yeah.
We had
same.
an outhouse. We had a fireplace.
Yeah.
And you had your stove that was with wood. Like,
Yeah.
That's
The
how
first
they grew
time
up.
my sister
they had
went,
a well.
my sister was
Yeah.
12 the first time she went to Montenegro, and in my dad's house in the mountains, they would have to go outside to shit in
Yeah.
our house.
Yeah.
And then I think
Wow.
the next time she went, like the
Yeah.
families
They had
built a
plumbing and all-
bathroom,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But no electric. Damn.
So when a kid would die, they were like, well, what's the explanation
Yeah.
for this? Oh, it must have been an evil eye, man. This guy was over last week or he did something to me in the market and I brought back this curse.
Yeah.
And that's why the baby didn't make it, not knowing that, oh, maybe it got an infection.
Yeah.
You know, because you gave birth on a damn floor for the most part.
Right.
Right.
You know, you didn't
Yeah.
have modern medicine. Like, that's why I say, like, so I love to say, like, how tough, like, Albanian men are, right?
Yeah.
We are. I swear to God, we're the baddest people in the world. But how bad are our women to be able to deal with us? Like, you got to be a bad
swear.
woman to be able
My
to deal with some of
grandma-
these tough ass
I'm
dudes, man.
convinced that my grandma's the strongest person on the fucking
And think
planet.
about it. They
I
gave
am.
birth with no fucking epidural, not
Yeah.
even a Tylenol.
No, nothing.
Not even a Tylenol. Maybe
Nothing.
they grabbed a little moonshine shot and threw some raki on their foreheads. But like back to my grandma, right?
Yeah.
Religious as all get out. wouldn't eat from noon to 3 because that's supposedly the hours when Jesus died on the cross and when he suffered. Watched EWTN and Mother
Really?
Angelica
That deep,
every day.
Not to eat noon to 3.
Wouldn't eat noon to 3, dude. And she would pray
Wow.
for the whole family and for everybody. And she told me stories about some of the stringa,
with like the beads?
the rosary.
With the rosary.
Yeah.
She would tell me about the stringa, like witches and this and that, and how like her stories about like demons beating on people's doors or catching them in like, or like how the devil had backwards legs. You ever hear those stories?
Yeah, man.
Dreichi has his legs backwards.
Well,
that's
that's
how you know
why
it's
that's why
him.
you don't keep your shoe. You make sure your shoes aren't
Yes.
switched. So like for people who are listening, your shoes should always be like right foot, left foot at the door. Like if you're gonna take them off, if they're switched,
Devil
that's
gonna
bad
come
luck.
get his shoes,
Yeah,
dog.
Bad luck. Yeah.
My
To
mom
this
told me
day,
that
I'm
a
like,
long time ago.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
That's
Oh, when
crazy.
my kids would put their shoes on backwards, I'm like, get over here. What are you doing? I gotta undo this
Even though
voodoo.
we know, we're just like we have to.
There's little things like Muslims, everything has to be like right first.
Yeah.
So like, when I put like my socks on, I always put my right sock on first. I put my right shoe on first. And then when I walk outside, anywhere you walk, if I walk outside, anywhere I'm entering or exiting, you walk with your right foot first. Unless it's the bathroom. The bathroom, you walk left foot first into the bathroom.
Whoa.
But when you walk out of the bathroom, it's right because it's dirty.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
And Muslims are all about cleanliness.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
You
are you
know?
bringing up these like not voodoo weird shit, but because like religion is kind of the opposite of that, but like at
It
one
is.
point it's still ingrained in us, but we also are religious now.
If you believe
know?
in God in the sense of like the,
The
Quran
Bible.
or the
Yeah, yeah,
Bible,
yeah.
Yeah.
you shouldn't
shouldn't
believe
believe in this
in
stuff.
You
superstitions.
shouldn't believe in superstition.
You shouldn't
at all.
believe
Yeah.
like you're almost
It's like
that's
the
anti God.
It's the
But is
antithesis
that
to
is
that's
that where like
paganism.
your
Paganism.
perspective kind of like shifted because you're like, okay, we're all very religious. Like your grandmother is religious, but she still does like the superstitious stuff.
For sure.
So like,
She would
It's
make.
contradicting,
Yeah.
but I feel like because they made it so far,
You ever hear like when they
It's
make
like
the
one of
course and they
those
do the
things,
kissing
like-
thing, or when they make the bread, they put the 2 lines.
yeah,
and
yeah,
They do
yeah.
all these things because they had reasons.
Yeah.
That were even before the Turks came, before all these conquests
Mm-hmm.
happened. But you got to remember, all religion that came to our people came from an outside area,
Right.
right? The Romans brought Christianity and Catholicism to us,
Mm-hmm.
right? The Ottoman Empire brought Islam to us. The Greeks and the Serbs, to an extent,
Greek Orthodox.
brought the orthodoxy to us,
Right.
right? The only religion that's actually an Albanian religion is the Bektash. Now, Bektash are kind of like Muslims, but they're not,
I never even heard
right?
of that.
Like they can't eat rabbit for some reason. I forget why. I was talking to one of my Bektashi boys who like the teacher, like Babur JP. Ask your dad about Babur JP. He's like a very patriotic, like Albanian guy,
Yeah.
right? And you have like it's like the Jami is the mosque, the Kisha is the church, and the Teche is like the Bektash. So they're kind of like Islam, but they're not. Like the Sunnis and the Shiites look at them like that's not Islam, dog. What the hell is that stuff?
It's like
I think they're allowed
the
to drink
state of Islam,
Rakim.
like how like Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali in
Yes.
the beginning when they were like the
Yes.
state of Islam.
Yes.
That's not Islam.
So the way I heard the story of what happened
know.
with like
Yeah.
the Bektash is they basically took a little bit of Christianity, a little bit of Catholicism, a little bit of Islam, mixed it all together and said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Because they were like, this kind of works for us. It's
Yeah.
our Albanian thing. We can still like drink Rakim. We can go to this. We can kind of eat that.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna eat rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think
like
because
that.
like a
Well,
rabbit
but-
jumped on one of the heads of the prophets after he got beheaded by someone. So like,
He
and the rabbit ran
disrespected,
off. So
right.
like the rabbit was dirty now.
Yeah.
Because the rabbit left and rabbits breed like crazy. So like, oh, well, the rabbit jumped off of his head after they cut his head off and ran. So now like the rabbit is cursed. And I was like, that's kind of crazy.
That's weird.
It's kind of like with Islam, as far as I know it. The reason the pig is considered dirty is because that's where Jesus cast out the demons into the pigs and ran them off the mountain. But because he
Damn.
cast them into the...
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I told you I read a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
No way.
People are going to be like,
I
this is a
just
smart,
saw-
dumb
I just-
motherfucker.
I just thought it was because it is the dirtiest animal. Like
It
it'll
is,
eat
but
its own babies.
I think chicken is even dirtier. Chickens
Really?
are filthy animals, bro.
Really? I just always saw because pigs are the
They
dirty.
eat
Like,
their own
one of
they'll
my-
eat their own babies. They'll,
one of-
like if they're hungry, they'll eat their own babies.
Yeah.
Like that's why. Like
So
if
will
you know from
bears.
Snatch,
Yeah.
he'll throw.
yeah.
You know the movie Snatch. You ever watch that? You gotta watch it. So good.
Dude, one of my friends at work. So I work with mostly black people at work, right? And I trained with these guys most of my life, boxing, training, and all that. So I got to know like black culture a lot. Some of the funniest people you ever met in your life, dude. And just like salt of the earth, like really nice people, and they're just hilarious.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this a little bit about religion, this and that. One guy's like, "Yeah, I don't eat pig," and he's like, "You Muslim?" He's like, "No, man." He's like, "I'm Baptist." He's like, "You don't eat swine, you don't eat bacon?" "No, man, I don't eat bacon, I don't eat ribs." Why not, man? That shit good. He's like, no, man, pig is a filthy animal. I said, what do you mean pig is a filthy? Pig eat his own shit. He's like, motherfucker, you saying that you eating chicken wings. He's like, so what? He's like, you ever fucking raised chicken? He's like, chickens are fucking filthy. I had a chicken coop. He's like, in Louisiana.
I had a chicken coop.
He's like, my granddaddy had a chicken coop. He's like, they're fucking filthy. We kept them in that goddamn coop. They shit all up in the water. They eat worms. They eat their own shit. They do this, they do that. Man, chicken goddamn fucking filthy.
Right.
Filthy
Like, where do you draw
animal
the line?
you ever had in your life. Goddamn, chicken is good, though. He goes, like, that was the end of it. Like, chicken is delicious. So, like, okay,
You
it's
should
filthy,
be
but at the
eating-
end of the day, when you cook it, it's fucking good.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to where the shift came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, reading a lot, and then these wars happening all over the place.
Okay.
Right? So like even like pre 9/11, like you had these wars in Rhodesia, the stuff going on in the Congo, in Rwanda, all these genocides, then in Kosovo. Or you go back into like World War I, World War II. Like every generation thinks they're the last generation, right?
Yeah.
But I think the Jews have a really, really good claim on like that should have been their apocalypse.
Yeah.
They're getting holocausted to death, and they're praying to their God, why are you not letting this stop?
Yeah.
So I feel like God could make it stop.
Yeah.
But when he said, like, you got free will, it's absolute, meaning, like, you got free reign to do exactly what you want to do, but there's terms and conditions with that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help you for shit. I'm going to stay up here and I'm going to watch. And I've talked with, like, other religious people, like, oh, well, that's agnostic and that's this, and you believe in that. I'm like, I don't believe in any of that. Like, someone can change my mind, or the world can convince me to change my mind at will. I feel like all religion is leading you ultimately to a higher deity that we call God.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know if God is an alien. I don't know if God is a higher being, or God is this God, that he's just the ultimate of all ultimates, like most religions say, right? Or if there's lesser gods, because you had that in the Bible in the time of the lower gods and the lesser gods, and you get into the Nephilim and the giant people, and
That's in the Old Testament?
Yes, you get into all this crazy stuff, and even Islam has stuff about it. Like you have
well, Islam is
what's the
grown from
what's the
Judaism.
bad what's the not Dreichi, but it's like, what are like the bad angels?
Oh,
The jinn.
yeah.
The jinn. So you got the bad angels, the jinn. You have the good angels, right? You have shaitan. The R word, shaitan. Shaitan is the devil. That's the name for the devil in Islam. You have all these different things, right? Well, why do these
and
things?
like even Albanians all say mashallah. Like that's an Islamic term.
It is.
Yeah.
We get a lot of stuff from Islam. We get stuff, borrowed, certain things.
Well, everybody does that. I
because
feel like
because we
every
were
culture does
conquered for 600 years by the Ottoman Empire. So we're going to have certain things that are adopted and things that we say. But at the end of the day, they borrowed stuff from us too, because we were in the Balkans before anybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like sounded like Malcolm X now. We didn't land on Europe, motherfucker. Europe landed on us. We're the Illyrians. We came there before the Greeks, before the Macedonians, before the Romans, before the Vikings, before anybody. When they came over there, Albanians were there. And you can know because you look at the mountains, what they're called. Our language has no root. Nobody knows where it comes from. But I don't want to sidetrack too much on the history part. But back to like religion. So I think that like when that happened with giving humanity free will, it came with conditions and terms that you have to kind of accept. So like you got this free will. So you're allowed to do what you want to do. But if God can intervene every time, well, now you're encroaching on someone else's free will.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm getting ready to get into a boxing match and I say, oh, God, I'm praying to you to win this fight. And I beat that guy's ass. But what if that guy was praying, I want to beat this guy's ass?
Yeah.
Well, who's more and more? And you got to weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Who's a better person? Who's this? Who's that? So I feel like God gave you all these abilities, right? And all the tools necessary to make you who you want to be or what you want to be.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to use it. So God might give me a screwdriver. But if I use it as a fucking hammer, I'm going to have a little tough time in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like my version of heaven is like when I get to heaven, if I get there, right? And I believe I might get there. Honestly, I think hell is reserved for like the worst of the worst. I'll be able to play every decision I ever made in my life and every way it could have played out.
Yeah.
Right? So like, what if I didn't do boxing? What would have happened? What if I didn't get into that fight? What if I did shoot that guy?
Yeah.
And like, I feel like every decision you've ever made in your life, there's like 100 different things that can spiral off of it, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think God has an idea of what someone should do. So you have this kind of like, not linear, right? But you got this little like roadmap. So you can get to Florida by taking I-75. But you can sidetrack off into Virginia, into Kentucky, into Tennessee, into over here, into over here. Now, ultimately, I think it's going to steer you somehow back to where your purpose is.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Right.
Maybe. But then what is the purpose of somebody who's just a fucking born in Syria?
Yeah.
Right? They're 6 weeks old and all of a sudden their house got blown up to death and they're gone.
Yeah.
They're no longer here.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so tough for me to believe in like a God that is like a Christian God or an Islamic God or this God or that God. Because how does all this shit happen?
Yeah.
And that's where I really was like, oh man, like I don't think it's as linear as this religion makes it seem.
Yeah.
Like, it makes it seem like it's so clear cut and so easy.
Do this, do that.
And
do
this is
that.
the most complex concept in the world.
Yeah.
God, the ultimate apex
Absolutely.
of everything. And you're making them so simple.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's this, this, and this. And I was like, nah, I don't think it's all that.
Yeah,
It's-
they're making it too simple. It's not. Yeah, it's not.
And then I think
Because like
I think
you said,
that
like, you-
everyone
you
has a
can't kill
different version of
nobody.
how to get to God.
Well, yeah, you're
Your
right.
version to get to God is different than mine, different to yours. different to
Absolutely.
that
And who's
person's.
to say who's wrong? We don't
Like,
fucking
is
know.
the Christian God going to make sense to some guy in Iraq? Probably not, which is why Muhammad made sense to him. You know, is Jesus going to make sense to somebody in Tibet? No, it doesn't even look like him.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why I say all
So
the
you
time,
have-
like, what
yeah.
if you're like, okay, say I'm Muslim, you're Catholic. What if you're the best guy in the world and I'm a horrible fucking guy, but Islam is the right religion?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah.
Like,
I made it by
you know what
default,
I'm saying?
motherfucker.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Do we both go to hell? Like,
Right.
because
Hey,
I
what if
was
we
like,
get up
you
there-
see what I'm saying? And
What
like,
if we
how
get
you
up there
said-
and the Mormons were right?
how you said like you could
Screw
kill
it.
somebody and like you believe that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel like there is no exact guideline. Like God could be like, you know what? That actually you shouldn't have killed that guy.
Yeah.
But you know what? You atone for your sins, or like you
Whatever might
you
happen,
tried your
yeah.
best to do. You like learn. You grown from that or whatever, and you're no longer that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or that one was that person should have been killed. You should have done that. you
Yeah.
know?
So you know how
Or
they
whatever.
say like God is like your father, right? The our Father who art in heaven, or Zot, or Iadi, or whatever how we say it in our language and all that, right? Our God. I look at it like it is kind of like a father, right? Like when we were kids, our parents were like, "You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. You're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do that," and there were consequences, right? You got your ass beat, right? You got yelled at, you got grounded, you got your toys taken away. I'm 38 years old. My dad ain't beating my ass no more, but I have all the ability to do whatever. But my dad, when we're talking, still times we're like, "Oh, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe." You know, then I hang up and I'm still gonna go do whatever the hell I want to do. God maybe gives you some ideas and some signs. Hey, maybe you should kind of do this, or maybe you shouldn't do that. Or when you get this gut feeling when you walk somewhere and you're like, "Man, something just don't feel right."
Yeah.
And every time I've gone against it, something bad happened.
Yeah.
Maybe that's God being like, "Hey, man, you probably shouldn't do that, but it's on you."
It's on you. Yeah.
You know, my dad's like, "Hey, you know, you probably shouldn't drive today, but you know, go ahead." And then you get into an accident. You're like, "Damn, I should listen."
Yeah.
You know, 38, but I'm a grown ass man. You can't tell me shit. But damn, he does know a little bit. Better.
Yeah.
Is God like that? I don't know. I just feel like he kind of was like had like a hands off approach on
Yeah.
things because that's the only way I can explain all the crazy shit that happens.
Yeah.
So there's two things I wanted to say. I'm sorry. So
No, go.
the one was how you said like if you're praying to God, and then the guy you're fighting against is also praying to God, and you win. Does that mean like God just
God said,
screw
"Fuck that
guy"?
man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But and that's true because when John Jones won, the first thing he did was like thank Jesus, right? So like and like
Maybe
all
the other guy
boys,
was
all
like,
the
"Man,
boys
I
looked
should
at me and
thank
like
Jesus."
like they're like looked at me to see my reaction, you know. But and I just laughed, whatever. But then that reminded me because like Khabib is Muslim and he's undefeated and he's the
Completely
world
undefeated.
champ, you know. So like, and he's actually he's undefeated.
Yeah.
But like, what that doesn't. He prays 5 times a day. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
You're
He's
gonna
like
win or
strict
you're gonna win.
religious.
Like he did
Yeah.
that himself. Like granted, like I do pray to God and I believe in God, but like that makes perfect sense to what you were saying. Like one way or the other doesn't mean like
Yeah.
why is John Jones the greatest and why is
Yeah.
Khabib the greatest? They believe in quote unquote different gods, right? But they do.
You know when
believe
me and you taled about this like a little bit, like about God and religion and this
Yeah.
stuff like that, and I was like, at the end of the day, I don't care what anyone believes in, because I believe whatever you believe in is good for you,
Yeah.
and whoever you pray to or how you choose to pray, right, or what thesis you choose to follow is very personal. It's for you. You go into your room and you pray how you pray. I go into my room, I pray how I pray.
You know, so I'm Muslim. I married Nicolette. She's Catholic, right? And like, obviously, like people ask me questions, close friends, family.
Yeah.
You know, they ask. They're like, "What are you gonna do?" Like, "Oh, it's easy now." But what about when you have kids? You know, and I always say, like, for me, granted, I was raised Muslim, right? But once I turned like a certain age and I started like thinking for myself,
Yeah.
became like open minded. I was able to make a decision on my own. Like, so we could raise our kid whatever. When they get to the age, they're gonna decide what they want to be. Like you said, now you're 38.
Yeah.
Like people can be raised Catholic and become atheists.
Yeah, or vice versa.
Versa.
Yeah.
People could be with no religion and then all of a sudden find God and whatever religion, you know.
Yeah.
So like, whether it's my family or even like my Catholic friends like that ask me, I'm like, what does it matter if I grow? God willing, my son, say if he's Muslim till he's 16.
Yeah.
But then now he's 30 and doesn't believe in God.
Yeah.
Dude, I had
Just because like other people are going to say like, oh, he's not Muslim. Like,
Yeah.
So I had this debate with my wife, and we're
like,
both Catholic mal sword.
Yeah.
She's Goiche, right? Or was. Ha! Yeah. Now she's Jokai. She came to the good side. She like them potatoes. But I was like, yo, what do we do with like the kids? Are we gonna baptize them? Are we gonna do this? Do that?
Yeah.
She's like, well, yeah, probably. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I feel like it's not fair. And she's like, why? You know? She's like curious. She's like, why? I'm like, I feel like it's not fair because we're not really giving them a choice.
Yeah.
We're kind of indoctrinating them into what we believe.
Yeah.
And what our parents believed and our parents before and before and before and before. And if whoever the first person was that decided not to be pagan,
Right.
that became Catholic, everyone else just kind of went with the flow.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like, do we really have a choice? Did we really have a choice? Or we were just kind of indoctrinated into this thing, and then all our friends are this way, so it's easier to be
To
that
just
way.
keep doing it.
So it's like, are we really giving them any kind of choice? Or
Yeah.
do we let them figure it out?
Yeah.
You know, and I was having these like debates with, like,
Mm-hmm.
not debates, but like these conversations, like asking her about it. And ultimately we came to the idea, like, we're going to follow like the traditional stuff. Like, we're going to do the tradition.
Yeah.
We're going to baptize them, let them go to that and all that. But I always talk to my kids about stuff
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be, not to say our parents were bad or whatever. They're just a little different.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be a lot more open with them.
Everyone's
a lot more like,
different,
yo,
yeah.
you can,
That's just
you
the
can have these.
generation,
And I had these
But when your
philosophical
kids
debates with my dad
are
about stuff.
30,
When they're 30, they're going to do what the hell they want to do.
they're going to believe what they believe.
Yeah.
Like, so
What they
what does it
believe
matter
in.
what they believe when they're 0 to 12?
But
Yeah.
I think in general, all religions, for the most part, the established ones. I'm not talking about this weird ass fucking Scientology.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
You got to be old, man. You know what I mean? Like, I can't
can't
know
be
your
the-
prophet. Okay,
Yeah, right,
I
right,
can't know
right.
your prophet.
Cannot be
Scientology, what's the
living.
other
Or
one?
my
What's the other
great grandfather
one?
can't know your prophet.
Mormon.
Mormon. It is
Mormon is
right?
yeah.
Like we
weird.
know
Mormons,
him, right? Is
yeah.
it-
Well,
is
he
dead
was
now?
Joseph Smith.
I think Joseph
Yeah,
Smith.
Joseph
Smith. I think that he's
Get
dead
a better
now.
name.
South Park.
Yeah, get a better name. There's so many Joseph Smiths.
It
in
was
the
like
world.
Muhammad, Jesus. They didn't have last names. It was just
Them.
on their
Madonna.
documents. They would have had the word Jesus, and Muhammad. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like the classical religions, quote unquote, right? I think if they all have good structure in them, they all got the same message.
Yeah, for sure.
Be good, do unto others as they do unto you. Basically, don't fuck with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be nice, be a good person, be hospitable. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't kill.
Yeah.
Don't do all these things. And that's not a bad thing to go by. 'Cause
No.
I'll tell you what, as a young guy growing up and getting into fights and doing things I did in life, whether good, bad, or other, there was only like 2 things stopping me from being like really bad,
Yeah.
right? Like wanting to like kill somebody,
Mm-hmm.
right? 2 things. One, man, was I scared of my parents, of disappointing them, and losing the respect of my grandfather,
Uh-huh.
right? Losing his respect. I think it hurt my dad when I told him this. I was like, I love my grandpa more than I love you.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, because I respect that guy and love that guy so much that like I'm his grandkid, and now he sees his great-grandkid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, he sees that like his name is going on for 2 more generations.
Mhm.
Like, what a great thing, you know.
Such
And I
a-
never
yeah.
want to let him down. I never want to disappoint him.
Yeah.
And he also never hit me except one time, but very gently. And it was the worst smack of my entire life.
Yeah.
Worse than any beatdown I ever got.
Yep.
Right? Because I disappointed him once,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, I don't want to go to hell.
Yeah. I swear.
What if I go to hell forever?
Yeah.
'Cause that's a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like I thought high school was long, but forever is a
Yeah, they say
really,
life, like the
really
life we
long
live is
time.
like opening a door.
Yeah.
Like, and like walking through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how quick.
Yeah.
Like if you live 100 years, that's how quick it is opening a door.
Whew.
So it was like, what if I end up there forever?
It's
Let's
a
just
good-
err on the side of caution.
Yeah, it's a good structure to
It's
live
not a
by.
bad-
Definitely a good
It's
structure.
a good structure to live. I mean, it has its flaws, like everything else. Do you want to do rapid fire?
Yeah, it was rapid fire.
Okay. This is my favorite part. I freaking love rapid fire.
Rapid fire questions to you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to start? You can just do it all.
All right. If you had to be a Disney character, which would you be?
Ooh.
Disney? Oh man. Oh, I have to say this. Am I on camera? Yeah. I have to say this because my wife will get mad. I have to be Prince Eric because she's
Prince Eric.
She's the Little Mermaid, dude. She's
period.
all about Ariel and.
Right,
Yeah, but if I had to be a Disney character,
Yeah, if it's not for your wife.
not for my wife.
So Prince Eric or
Shrek. Is he Disney?
He's
Pixar?
He's
I'll count that.
DreamWorks.
I'll count that.
But
as
you
Disney.
can do it. It's
Can we
fine.
count it? You know
Yeah.
why?
Count it.
Because I like Shrek.
Shrek is the
He
best.
don't give a fuck.
No.
He's like, I'm an ogre.
But he's
deal
still
with
caring.
it.
He's still caring
Yeah.
for his people.
But he's like, deal with it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna help you. But listen, I just want to be in my swamp.
Yeah.
I want to be in my swamp.
Good one.
So
Do you
Shrek.
fuck with the Harry Potter?
Not yet, but everyone tells me I'll love it.
Really? Okay, so I can't ask you that one.
Yeah, I don't know about Gryffindor and about this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. What's your
Yeah.
Hogwarts house?
Everyone tells me I should watch it. They said I would love it. And I'm
You
like,
would
It's
love
so
it. It's
good.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Wait, let me pause really quick because I actually have to extend this more.
Okay. All right. Before we get back into this, so when Luigi came over here for the first time, I don't know what time you came, but like a normal hour, maybe like 8 p.m., whatever, you know. Had a couple drinks on a what?
On a weekday.
On a weekday.
I came here
And-
per Haidur Spielen, so to like congratulate him on that.
Right. He brings
Yeah.
a bottle, we drink it, probably open another bottle, whatever. But anyways, we're chilling here. And next thing you know, it's like 1 a.m. And he's like, I got to go. I got to be up at like 4 in the morning.
Oh my God.
He was already here a good amount of time, like 5 hours, say. We get up. Who were we with? Leon? Was it? Who was here? Crease. Was
Chris came. Yeah,
Crease
Chris came. Yeah.
We end up, it's like 1 a.m. So we were chilling outside because it was nice outside.
Yeah, we're on a patio.
So we come right here to the top of the stairs at like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And like we're saying bye. And we stood right there at the top of the stairs
For an
till
hour?
about till like 2:30 in the morning.
You're fucking lying.
I swear to God on my
then
life,
when
we
we
said
got down.
he's like, I gotta go. Like, say he said I gotta go at like 11:30,
Uh-huh.
but then conversation kept
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
So then he's like, no, I really gotta go at like 1 a.m. Gets up, we stand right here. Yeah, then you
Another
ended up
hour
skipping
goes
work.
by.
He ended up,
I did.
He ended up
I
skipping
have
work.
like PTO time.
Yeah, yeah,
we call it PA days,
Uh,
personal absence.
okay.
I literally got to the house. My wife's passed out. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, call the hotline. It's like, family.
But for no
I'm
reason.
reporting an
Like we
absence.
said bye
Yeah.
at 1,
Yeah.
We
but
said
then
so many
stood here
byes.
till 2.
Oh my God. He was like,
Just stood right
He was
there.
gonna take an hour nap when he got home and wake up for work.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. My brain's wired like that. Like I can do that kind of shit.
Oh my
So
God.
Man, I used to for sure. I haven't tried
Oh, I
it in
hate
a
it
long
sometimes.
time. But
Like I'll get up and I'm like, damn it, I went to bed at 12:30. I got up at 4.
Yeah.
My wife's like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm dying,
Yeah.
but I'm fine. I'm here.
Yeah.
all right, back to rapid fire. What animal would you be in another life?
Where was your spirit animal?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to say I want to be a lion.
Yeah.
Right. Lion, eagle, those are the
Right,
basics.
lion and eagle. Lion because he's got all them bitches in his pride. And who doesn't want that? Eagle because you're just an eagle. Right. You know what I want to be in another life? I want to be a rich white lady's dog.
Oh, hell yeah. That is a good one.
Rich white people's dog. I'm going to live my best life in Beverly Hills and Dubai.
Pampered, yes.
I'm going to be pampered like do my nails, peasant. Like, come on. I'll even be one of them little foo-foo purse dogs. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have a trust
Carried
fund.
around all
Yup.
I'm going to be carried around everywhere. I want to be a white person's dog. I
Absolutely.
Oh,
want
yeah,
to live in
that's
the
a good
wild. I
one.
have to hunt my own food. I'm going to have fucking Emerald Lagasse making my shit for me as a dog. Like, bam.
If your life was a story, what would it be titled?
Well, I can't say The Fighter because that's an actual movie. Wow, that's a good one. If my life was a movie, what would it be titled?
I'll follow it up with an easy one.
Damn.
I know.
Twisted on
It's
that.
a hard one.
We can go back to it.
Yeah, come back. Let me think about
Think on
for
it.
a
Yeah,
second.
think
All
on it.
right. What was the last thing you watched on TV?
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, good. You watch it?
Lying. I watched this new Naked and Afraid show, but they're not naked and not afraid. They're in Alaska.
Oh, what is it?
It's
I haven't
on
watched it, but I
Netflix.
think Beth
It's-
and
yeah.
Dan watched it.
My Tilda started watching that, so I watched that. I watched Below Deck. I can't remember which one. I fall asleep watching some of her. I call it garbage TV.
But it's good.
So like there'll be the housewives.
Uh-huh.
But the last thing I remember for sure, like functionally,
Yeah.
Last of Us. The
Yeah,
season
you
finale.
watch the whole thing. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I played the games.
Did
too,
you?
so
Okay.
yeah.
Sweet.
So good.
Yeah. Damn, the title of my life movie. That's a tough one, man. I don't know, man. Probably like Content to Be Content.
Whoa. That was sick.
That's good.
Yeah.
Content to be content.
Content to be content.
That is such. I love being content.
It's a very difficult thing to achieve.
It
man.
is. It is.
Just be happy to be happy.
Yeah.
Like people are like, what do you mean? Like,
I'm just content.
you know what? I don't have a Ferrari.
But I don't need it.
I have to go to work in the morning every day to
Yeah.
a job that I really don't like.
Yeah.
Right. I have to live in this cold ass fucking state in the wintertime. Right. I don't have $50 million. I can't start the philanthropy and the things I want to do right now. Maybe eventually, for sure. You know, I can't build the Albanian intellectual center of knowledge and shit that I want to build. Right.
Conspiracy home.
But I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a unique thing. Because people are like, damn, you're so happy-go-lucky. Like, but you can like kill people with your bare hands.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, for sure. But I'm like the peaceful warrior. Right? I'm
Yeah.
like the warrior in the garden.
That's
Ooh,
another
the
good
peaceful
title.
warrior.
It's a peaceful
Peaceful
another
warrior.
good
That's a
title.
good one
That's
too.
a good one
But like
too.
content to be content is such a difficult thing because people are always chasing the next thing, right? They always want the next.
There's
tie,
always
the
something
next
else.
thing. I
There's
want the
always
next
something,
car. I
yeah.
want the newest phone. I want the newest this. We're such consumers on stuff, and it's like, why don't you just consume the moment?
Yeah.
Like, be happy to be happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody would be better off if they were just happy, man. Just fucking be happy. Like, hey, it could be worse.
Yeah.
We're all in the middle, unless you're Elon Musk, or unless you're somebody moments from death.
Yeah.
We are all in the middle.
Yeah.
Somebody's got it better, and somebody's got it worse. We're all
100%
perpetually in the
always.
middle. And you just got to be happy sometimes.
Happy to be
Stop
happy.
and smell the roses.
Content to be content.
Yeah, the peaceful warrior. Chapter 1, content to be content.
Ah.
Chapter 2, the apocalypse. No.
It took a turn.
Right.
What's the first concert you ever attended?
Oh man, fun fact: never been to a concert in my life.
Really?
You're a liar.
Not Nicole Nikrelai.
No.
Like not Albanian?
Never been to a concert in my life.
Really?
What? Who's your favorite
Dude.
artist? Who do you want to see?
So many.
Or are you just content to be content now?
No, not with that. There's so many. So I didn't get into country music till I got married, and we were trying, but you can't find tickets anywhere. My wife
Morgan
was like,
Wallen.
we should do like Morgan Wallen or like Faster Horses,
Yeah.
or one of those to be like my
Faster
first.
horses, you'll get into a fight.
It's okay. I'll dust them off.
Dust
come
them
out of
off a little
retirement
bit.
real quick.
Do you listen to Chris Stapleton?
A little bit.
Bro,
Okay.
he's my favorite.
You should
I
watch.
like Luke Bryant.
Okay.
It's a little cliche.
Yeah, it's a little
I like
cliche.
country, but I like some of this outlaw country lately.
Ah.
Like I like old country
Old
because I had a
country.
guy I worked with from Kentucky.
Like
So I'd listen
90s.
to like Hank Williams, like 70s, like
Yeah, but Chris Stapleton, we went to see him. We weren't even big fans of him. None of us.
I was.
We weren't like huge.
Nicolette
fans.
was.
I would
No,
love
we
to like
weren't.
Chili
No,
Peppers
like
concert.
I'm saying what we are now. Like all of us listened to him. All of us knew his music. We went there like knew like 10 out of 15 songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
we knew.
Oh, okay,
his,
we
but,
knew.
like,
Right,
We
right.
weren't obsessed with him the way
Right,
we
right,
were.
of course.
We go literally like a fucking switch. We are all obsessed with him. I don't go a day without listening to Chris
No kidding.
Stapleton.
Yeah,
I don't
Chris
go
See,
a
I'd love
day.
to go to like a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert, or even like the Killers back in the day. They were pretty good. Black
I like
Keys.
the Killers. Yeah.
I have my
music library.
playlist.
Yeah.
Oh, it's OCD. I go from like NWA gangster rap to
That's the way it's gotta be.
Fleetwood Mac.
Hello. Heck yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back to Black Keys.
I love
to
that one
System
Fleetwood
of a
Mac song.
Down.
Yeah.
like, you know, like
Oh my
all
God.
this different. I played System of a Down. My wife looked at me and she goes, "Am I at the weight room in high school?" I go, "What do you mean?" She's like, talking about like self-righteous suicide.
Oh
and
my
all this. I'm like,
God.
yeah, it's System of a Down. It's a political thing. Rage Against the Machine.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, who are you?
Yeah, you
She's
just
like, you
have
were
so
from
many
like Tupac,
sides.
Biggie, all straight up rap, and then all of a sudden just that.
You got to be versatile.
Dude.
If you only listen to one genre
Listen,
of
good music is good music.
Yeah, like listening to one genre is just like I
Yeah.
can't.
But I won't listen to this mumble rap shit.
no,
I'm not listening to fucking Lil Yachty.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
not.
I'm not
as
listening
good.
to Tekashi 6ix9ine.
They got some catchy songs every
Takashi
now
got
and
hyped
then.
though for a minute, dude. What do you say when you answer the phone?
Depends who it is.
Say
Usually,
if
it's,
I call you, what do you say when you answer?
I'm like, "What's up, dude?"
What's up, dude? All right.
Or I'll do the Albanian yellow.
Yeah, I say yellow a lot, which I don't like.
If my buddy Vince
Yellow.
calls me, I'm always like, "Oh, what's up, Vincy?" And I say it like that every time, like a boater. "Oh, what's up, Vincy?" If Mike Kumar calls me, I'm like, "What's up, coach?"
All right, this is a good one. If you could be the character in a TV show, so you play him in real life.
Oh, I already know.
If you could play a character in a TV show, what character would you want to be?
The Punisher, my guy.
The Punisher?
Yeah. You ever watch it on Netflix?
I've never seen that.
What? You never seen The Punisher?
No, that's like a super. That's like the villain, right?
He's like an anti-hero, but he's a hero. He's a bad motherfucker.
Is it part of like a comic?
I want everybody to watch The Punisher on Netflix. John Bernthal plays him.
Okay.
John Bernthal is the guy that played Shane in Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, I like
I
him.
never watched
Dog.
Walking Dead.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Punisher is my guy.
All right,
That
bet.
and my wife's
How
gonna
many
hate me, but
seasons?
John
I like
Wick.
Shane,
It
too.
was like 2-3 seasons, maybe 3.
Okay, John Wick's a good character to
John
choose.
Wick is my guy. But
Yeah.
no, I would definitely be the Punisher. Because
Okay.
he's karma.
Uh,
He's karma, and I want to be karma. Because there's a
Okay.
lot of bad people that need to die,
yeah,
and I want to do it.
yeah.
I want to kill very many bad people.
Name a song that makes you happy.
Because I'm happy. No.
Easy.
That's the first thing that comes to everyone's head,
Always,
though.
yeah,
Like, cause I'm happy.
yeah.
A song that makes me happy? Honestly, most like patriotic old school Albanian music.
Mm.
I just get like so hyped, dude. Like in general that does, but then like man, I don't know. Albanian music makes me pretty happy, I swear to God, because I'm just like, oh man, this is the shit. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And I probably look like such an immigrant, like, yeah. Like, all right, where's my Armani t-shirt and a gold necklace on the outside, man? Put on a little bit Cool Breeze colognes.
Oh my god.
Sleep with socks on or socks off?
Oh, socks off, dude. I sweat. Fuck that shit.
Dominic, my brother-in-law calls them foot prisons.
They
Foot
are.
prisons.
That's a great name.
He's like, let me get rid of these foot prisons.
Especially Dom would think of something like that.
I know.
You ever get like a sweaty sock off?
He don't wear jeans.
What?
Oh my, yeah.
Dom, he's like all about comfortability. Her brother-in-law.
Has he ever had stretchy jeans?
He doesn't
I'm
wear
wearing them right now. These Duluth jeans. Right
You want to know
They're
how
stretchy.
he
They
knew?
got flex, cuz. Look at this. Look at the
They do have
like
flex.
30%
Yeah.
flex, and they're called the double ballroom jeans.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Guys that
Ball-
double ballroom so you could like bend
You
down.
can
you
work
don't have to
out
worry
in them,
about-
dog,
oh,
and
okay.
nothing's gonna get pinched. They're so comfortable.
Lululemon has ABC pants. They're
Yeah.
called what anti-ball crushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
that's
have
what
to
he
pair.
wears. He
They're
wears
like
ABC.
jeggings for men. These
Yeah,
are
he
great.
wears ABC pants all the time. But Samir knew that my sister or Liz
Yeah.
and my brother got engaged because Dom was wearing jeans in the Snapchat.
Yeah.
See, I need
No.
something with like.
This guy never wore jeans, and he sent a snap wearing jeans, and I call Nicolette, and I'm like, Rob and Liz are getting engaged. She's like, how do you know? I'm like, because Dom sent a snap wearing jeans, and there's no other reason why he would be wearing jeans. Like, he's never wore jeans ever,
He hates them.
and that's how I knew.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
gotta-
that was a solidifying.
I gotta
moment.
wear. Don't be wrong. I love sweats. I lived most of my boxing life
In sweats, yeah.
sweats.
Yeah.
And track pants. Right. I'd probably look like a '90s Russian mob guy.
Yeah.
You know, wearing the Adidas track pants and sweat just to be comfortable. Shorts all the time. Cargo pants, which my wife to this day can't stand. She hates it. But I'm like, it's like a purse for men.
Yeah.
You know, I got my cargos. I put everything I need to.
That's so true.
But like, I gotta have something with I carry a pistol most of the time. Like, I gotta have something. I can't wear my gun in my sweats.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just not something I can do.
Conducive.
Yeah.
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 Everyone's like, "What are you afraid of?" I'm like, "Not a goddamn thing."
Okay, what chore in the house is your chore?
Security.
Oh, okay.
I don't listen, gentlemen. I'm speaking directly to the men. I'll speak to the women after. Find you a woman that was raised by a mom that made her do chores. Let me tell you something. There's this magical thing that happens every single day.
Oh my god.
All right. I wake up and I have lunch ready in the fridge at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how it gets there, but it's there. Okay. My clothes magically wash, fold, and put themselves back exactly in the same spot every single
It's that
week.
Albanian voodoo shit.
I come home and the bed is made and the pillows are like nice, but there's like
Crisp.
37 of them. You know, so it's
Cold
a little,
on both
little
sides.
compromise, right?
Lots of pillows.
Food is always seemingly there.
Interesting.
It's like I live on a farm without having to farm. It's just phenomenal. I haven't had to do laundry,
it's the magic of women.
make food, you know, shop or do these things. And I did all that, by the way. I'm not
Every-
handicapped.
every-
I know how to do all of it.
Every mug you
my wife
grab is
didn't believe
clean.
me. She didn't believe me.
Mm.
I was like, dude, I lived on my own. I lived in Florida. I had my own place. I had my own thing. I didn't realize I was OCD till I had to clean up after myself.
Yeah.
right? I had a hamper for my whites, hamper for my darks, and a hamper for my work and workout clothes because I didn't want them to mix together because I thought that was filthy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I gotta have
It's
this
all
is my
getting
whites.
clean. Yeah.
That's my workout and work clothes. Them shits can't wash with my nice clothes. No, those like my delicates. I gotta have these filth shit away from my
Separate.
delicates.
Yeah.
But I never fixed my bed, so I don't believe with Jordan Peterson. Fix your bed. Love you, Jordan. You're a good dude.
I love Jordan Peterson.
I'm not gonna
Did
fix
you know
my
he
bed
just
'cause
came
I'm
to
about
Detroit?
Yeah. I'm not gonna fix my bed because I'm gonna fuck it up again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it like semi fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, but if I got somebody,
I
who's
like
gonna
it.
visit,
I like it
yeah,
being
I'll fix
clean
it.
when I get into it.
Me too.
Like even
It
if I'm
does
about to
something-
sleep,
it does
I'll
something
fix
to
I'll
me-
fix it before going to bed. If that's it. But
that,
Nicolette
now
will fix
that
it.
I would do.
But-
It sounds dumb. I would
Yeah.
get up in the morning, right when I was working construction. It'd be all like scattered, and I'd be like, I'd be back.
Yeah.
I'd go do my thing, go box, come back, come home. End of the day, then I would fix the chuck chuff,
Yeah.
move it, fix
Straighten it up.
and then get in.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it in the beginning of the day, but I did it at the end. 'Cause I'm
For
like,
me, when
wanna
I do it in the
present.
beginning of the day, it's like, okay, now I can start my day.
Wasn't that a thing for
just
you?
like-
Wasn't that a
Last year, but
That was-
now I just do
that
it.
was
I
last
gotta
Now
give the
New Year's
PSA to the
resolution.
women now.
Okay.
So I talked to the
PSA
guys.
to the women. Here we
Right.
go.
PSA to the women.
do the dishes,
Do
make the
the
lunches?
Do the chores. Okay. Do all that stuff.
That's it. If you want to.
Cleaning your house. Okay. Fixing your stuff. Cooking the chickens. All right. You know. That way you do. We make it so you don't gotta chasing the chicken no more. You go in the Kroger and you get it. No, in all honesty though, all that 50-50
Yeah.
stuff, that is bullshit. Everyone has a role to play.
Yeah,
right? You figure it
yeah.
out between you and all that, whatever you got to do.
But your 50-50 in your marriage is probably
No.
different. It's probably no. I'm
Is-
saying
no,
your
your
50.
50-50
Your
is different.
50
50 is 2%, like milk. 98% housework is hers.
Not housework. I'm saying like
Right,
what
but
you do
like,
50-50.
You're the but you're the
Well, you know what the thing is? Like, yeah, you're right.
It's
what you bring to the
different.
table. It
Like-
evens it out.
Like
For
what
sure.
my parents 50-50 is compared to what your 50-50 is versus what my brother-in-law sister 50-50
Yes.
is. It's all gonna be
Yeah.
different.
I'm
Everyone's
capable of doing all of
of
it.
course. Yeah.
But she hates the way I do certain things.
So yeah, so she
like
don't
if
want
I had
you
to
there.
do the laundry, she'd be like, I have to redo it anyway. So
Yeah.
it'll make my life easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, here's a funny thing. I hated the way she folded my clothes.
Ah.
She would fold my T-shirts, and it was like a way where I had like a line down the middle.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she would fold it in half this way.
Oh yeah, no, that's not
So
a
I
good
had
way
a
to do
line
it.
and a line,
Yeah.
right? So I'd
But
put
what
on
if you have
this-
the line across, 2 lines?
What do you mean? I
across?
put on this crispy white tee, and I have like a line here and a line here.
Like it's when it comes out of the packaging. That's how it
Yeah.
looks.
And I'm like, yo, T, I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is I feel like Sebastian, what is this line? What is this line? And I'm like, yo, man. And she's like, I'm like, listen, fold it like this. Tuck it. That.
In, yeah.
She started having to fold my clothes that way.
To your
The kids'
liking.
clothes, she still does it how she does it. But to make me happy, she did that. Like that
She's
way.
a nice
That's
wife.
nice.
That's a
Yeah.
great wife.
And then
right
what I
there.
do for her is when she's like, yo, I want really sloppy food right now, but I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I really want like, you know, Culver's.
Yeah.
And some fries or like Taco Bell. And I'll be like, nah, you shouldn't. Don't do it. She's like, thanks, babe. And then I show up 15 minutes later, like, here you go.
Ah.
She's
see?
like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
This is horrible. You're the worst.
I love Culver's.
But she
so
also
much.
knows if
love
someone breaks
Culver's.
into the house, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
I'm going to
your
get
job.
up and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I've been waiting. Thank you.
That's when you thank God.
Shout out to God.
Oh my
I've
God.
been waiting for this one.
It's hilarious. Okay, next question. What's the best age to you?
11.
Was that your best age?
It's my favorite number.
Okay.
I feel like at 11,
You know that's
it's a prime number.
yeah. You know the numerology?
A little bit.
Do you? Okay.
I'm old, man.
That's a master
Told
number.
you, somebody's, yeah, it's a master number. Somebody's, if we had a whole another couple hours for conspiracies, dog,
You'll have to come back.
we're going to have to.
11's a
You're
good
just
number.
old enough to kind of make your own decisions, but
Ah,
you're not too old where you have responsibility.
okay.
You have, like, freedom.
You have no responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can
11,
also
what
wash
grade
my
is
own
that?
ass.
11
I can
is
get like a
sixth
small
grade?
job if I need to. You know, everyone's like, "Oh, I want to."
At 11,
21.
you can get a small job. What job?
I worked at a golf course. I was a golf caddy.
At 11?
At 11, yeah, I carried rich bastards' bags around the course.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I hated it. Now, if I could go back in time, I'd be like, oh my God, I could be a full-time golf caddy and make like $150,000 a year.
Right, yeah.
Instead, I got to work at Chrysler. Shit.
Oh my God, that's so true.
But 11 is like a great age because it's like, yo, I can ride my bike to the store. Nobody's going to look at, if they see a 4-year-old walking into the store and getting milk, they're going to be like, what the fuck was this kid's parents?
Yeah.
Because 4 is great.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to do shit. My son, kid can do whatever he wants for the most part. I'm going to take, go to the bounce park, splash pad. At 11, I can kind of like, even if I was driving a boat, they'd be like, he's probably fishing. Like 11 is like a good age.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, your 20s, people look at you for responsibility. I don't
True.
Want
yeah, middle school was a good
I
age.
don't want no
too.
damn responsibility.
Yeah,
Middle school was a good age. I was going to the movies. I was going bowling and shit.
Right before
riding
high
my
school,
bike
man.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I went.
Come Nismet like mua,
Going
you
to
know?
7-Eleven.
Started,
Talk
to girls and shit.
That
Yeah.
was a good time, man. We were so innocent.
Yeah, man.
Good times.
Fuck.
Yeah. Okay, what was your first job?
Golf caddy, I hope.
golf
Unless
caddy?
you started
Working
working before
construction with my daddy.
Yeah?
No,
Actually? Oh.
I had to, though. Yeah, he would take me to the job
Oh,
site.
yeah.
My first job where I actually got paid, besides like mowing the like old lady's lawn across the street who was like old, golf caddy.
Okay.
And then my first like job like a real job, because that was like a summer job.
Yeah.
My first real job, like after school, after work, all that, Sherwin-Williams.
Mm.
Yeah.
Paint.
Yep.
Paint.
Sherwin-Williams, I was the sales associate.
How old were you then?
15.
Salesman? At 15.
Yeah, 15.
Wow.
But, you know, my dad being a painter contractor, it was kind of like not fair.
Yeah.
Like, guys would come up to me and ask, like,
Had
what
an
should I get? I'm like,
advantage.
you should get like a, get an A100 eggshell for the exterior, this, that, do this. And they're like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
how's this guy know this?
Just
I'm
pull
like,
out
my
of
dad paints. Yeah. Slide him a business card. Don't tell anyone.
it. Sign my business card. That's hilarious. Okay, just a few more here.
Oh, dude, as many as you want.
Name the first word that comes to your mind.
First what?
Word that comes to your mind.
Shit.
There it is.
Because it's just shit.
What's your favorite season?
Summer.
Where do you go when you want to be alone?
You still got your
Bathroom.
boat? You still got your boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell
You love your boat?
I do. It's a pain in the ass sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's just.
How long have you had it?
6 years.
We used to have a boat, but my dad could hardly drive it, and Robert was like the only one that could park it, get it out of the whatever.
I'm teaching my brothers a little bit how to do that, but I don't trust them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they're partying.
Oh, and here's why the bathroom is my place where I want to go to be alone. I lock the door, I turn on the fans, and I tell the kids, Bubby's got to go poopy, okay? And they leave me alone. That's like my fortress of solitude. Other dads can relate to that. We hide in the bathroom.
I'm sure, absolutely.
From our children and sometimes our wives. So my wife's like, how do you take a 45-minute shit?
See,
I'm like, oh, it doesn't take that long.
The thing is Robert.
Sorry, guys. I'm letting our secret out the bag.
I think Robert does take that long. I genuinely think that he will poop for 45 minutes.
Not
Listen,
45.
phones fucked it up. Okay, we're sitting
Phones
there
fuck it up. Yeah,
scrolling.
you
That's
have too
true.
much fun.
Because back in the day, that was my dad's fortune of solitude, but with a newspaper.
Yeah.
And he'd be over there like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they had magazines in the bathroom.
And sometimes I would walk in and be like, he'd be like, oh, it's okay. Nah, don't worry about it. You know, this and that. And then he'd be done. He'd get up and just pull his pants up. I'm like, you mean to tell me he wiped his ass 20 minutes ago and he's just been sitting there? He's going to fucking kill me if that comes out.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay, though. Leave it. It's
We
okay.
can cut it. We can cut it.
No, it's funny.
Okay.
Because I was like 12.
That's hilarious.
But it's like, literally,
Yeah.
you just sit there and you're just like, I don't
Yeah.
want to get out because then I'm going to have to answer questions.
Yeah. That's weird though if you think about it. Okay, so he used they literally used to have newspapers
Magazine
and
racks.
magazines
Yeah.
in the
That
bathroom.
makes sense. That makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if I go to take a shit and I make it to the bathroom and I realize I don't have my phone, I turn around,
Yeah.
run and grab my phone and go to the bed.
Yeah.
Yo,
I
you ever go to use the bathroom and you realize you don't have your phone and you're like, oh my God.
The
what am I
worst.
gonna
It's
do?
the worst
You're
experience.
trying to
You're
hurry
just
up as
like-
fast as
It's
you
the
can.
worst experience.
Like,
yeah.
I got to hurry up.
That's the quickest shit anyone
Yeah.
will ever
shit
take.
you ever took.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're stuck because you're like, damn, there's a little more. I got to wait. So you're looking for anything. You grab like the thing of wipes and you start reading the ingredients. Like,
Yeah, you start
the
realizing
fuck
like,
is
we should clean.
glycerin this and that? The fuck is in this? I thought it was just water.
That's hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Anything to occupy you.
100%.
I remember we used to get like magazine subscriptions like monthly.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had those.
We had like
Too rich
stacks.
for my taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Audrey's wife used to get the best magazines. She had the best subscriptions. Like
I always
ever.
wanted a Sports Illustrated subscription, but
Mm.
yeah, I'm not paying $6 a month or whatever the fuck it was back then.
Yeah, that's a lot for.
We used to get like
that
the
time.
free ones, and then they would sometimes forget and they keep sending them.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free trials before they could like charge a card
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Or you switch your card and they
forget
don't
to take
realize
you
it.
off. Yeah, yeah.
That card hasn't existed in 5 years. They're still sending the magazine.
What time of day are you most inspired?
Can't nail down one specific time. I feel like it comes at all times, but happens at random. I don't know. Inspiration. I think it's
When you feel your best, like, is it like first thing in the morning? Is it like 8 p.m.?
well, when I was fighting in the morning because I hated it. I fucking hated running. Couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing in the world. But I would do it, and the whole time I'm like, I fucking motherfucker, I hate it. It's the worst fucking thing. It's terrible. But then after I was done, it was like
Nothing
Like
feels better.
everything clicked. It was like this clarity hit after.
Yeah.
Now that I don't train, I don't practice, I'm a lazy bitch. I eat whatever I want for the first time, so I love it.
Wow.
I love food. Probably after work when I'm playing with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I find a lot of inspiration playing with them, ironically,
Yeah.
because I see like little bits of me,
Yeah.
right? Like I'll see my daughter and she'll have these like little flashes, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, she gets a little bit of that, like,
Yeah.
you know, that little anger and stuff
Uh-huh.
for me. You know, and then I'll see my son like laughing and like choking her, and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to fuck with my brother like that, like tease him, you know. And then I'll see the little one just Hulk smash, and I'm like, yep, get it, totally get it. And then I'll watch them, and I'm like, oh my god, that's something I don't have.
Yeah.
That's something that T doesn't have.
Yeah.
That's their
Them.
little personality starting to
Mhm.
come out of me. It's the coolest little thing, man, watching these little humans that you created.
Yeah.
And it's also scary because you're like, fuck, I got to make, you know, a good kid because shitty parents make shitty kids.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes a good parent will still make a shitty kid.
It happens. I know it happens.
It does.
100%.
It does.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I protect them from everything without protecting them? Because you can't coddle them too much.
How
Yeah.
can you protect
Hugs?
them the perfect amount without overprotecting?
Yes.
Yeah.
You overprotect them, you're handicapping them.
Yeah.
Right? But I also can't throw them into the fucking hood and
Yeah.
let them be raised like wolves
Yeah. to
to an extent. Like we were. We were in the burbs. Make no mistake about it. We weren't no hood kids. I wasn't in the hood unless we were working down there, right? Or when I was boxing. I didn't have to live in a hood, but we experienced all that stuff. And it was like I wasn't coddled. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? My dad was, and my mom, even to an extent, my mom was pretty freaking tough, you know? My mom was always like the nurturer, like most moms, you know, the nurturer and all that. But she was also like, listen, if you go to school and somebody fucks with you, you beat the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, what? She's like, if someone's picking on somebody, oh, you beat their ass.
Yeah.
Don't worry about. I'm like, what about getting in trouble? Don't worry about that. Me and Dad will take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, my mom's a gangster, dude. Like, oh shit. I thought she was just this really nice lady who I could like
Yeah.
say anything to. And she was like, I got 4 brothers. I used to beat their asses too, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. And
Yeah.
I feel like that, you know, as much as I want to give myself credit for certain things, all the credit got to come to who raised me.
Yeah.
You know, they raised me as a tough kid, and you got to pass that on. And it's such a tough dynamic. Like, how do you raise kids to be tough without fucking up?
Yeah. I know. I think.
You know, and you don't get to do it again.
Yeah. And I feel like you saying that like kind of because my mom, we always asked her because not to like be like, oh, we're good kids, whatever. But she did raise like 3 good kids who are motivated, who are kind, but who are tough. Like we don't take shit, you know. Like we, you know, like none of us really do.
You're not a pitbull. You're not gonna just sit there and be like, okay.
Yeah. But like. That's crazy to think about because my mom in my entire life has always, everyone's like, your mom's the nicest person ever. Your mom is just so sweet, blah, blah, blah. But then there'll be like, oh, Angie's here. Like, Angie's here. Like, be in your best behavior type
Right.
shit. You know, like, they're like, everyone wanted my mom to be their mom, but like, they also knew that she was fucking tough and like,
Right.
won't take shit. And we always knew that like, she had our back too. So like, in those moments where your mom was like, if somebody put your hands on them, then you can swing. Like my mom used to say that to Robert, like do not touch somebody until they touch you.
Never started but finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally always said, don't touch anyone until they touch you. And then when they touch you, go at it. I
So
don't
my
care.
dad was, because he was a man and he understood boys,
Yeah.
right? He was like, you try to avoid fights, you can talk your way out of it. And my dad, for having come to America at like 13, 14, he speaks perfect fucking English.
Yeah.
Like this guy should have been a politician or something like that. He's just, the way his mind works is kind of crazy. And he was like, you know, you can talk your way out of it. There's always a different answer. There's this and that and this and that. You know, so I'd always press him. I'd be like, because I hear these stories about these guys back in the day, you know, shootouts and fights and all this crazy ass shit. And I was like, well, what about like this? Well, what if he does this? Well, you do this, and you do this, and you do this. It was always like an option, like you can talk out of this, you can
Yeah.
talk out of this, or appeal to his sense of over here. But at the end of it all, it was like, well, what if all that doesn't work? Well, if that doesn't work, then you drill that motherfucker into the concrete. You make him part of the fucking ground.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
You know?
But he always gave you like the option to
Yeah.
avoid
Always
until you
avoid.
can't.
And then when you can't avoid,
Yeah.
you make that motherfucker into dust. Turn him into dust. And all my friends were always like, oh, your dad is the funniest guy. He's the nicest guy. He's
Yeah.
the coolest guy. And I remember growing up, I was like,
He's actually not.
kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
You know? I love you, Dad, if you
Yeah.
ever see this. But I was like, damn, he's kind of mean, man. Like, he's tough on me, and he's always like, you got to do your homework, and you got to be home before a certain time, and you got to do. And I'm like, I just want to hang out like my other friends or like these other kids that I see. And, you know, he was tough on us. And I was always like, man, Dad's so tough on us. You don't really care about us. And then I got older, and I was like,
Damn.
thank
That's the
God.
opposite of it.
Because
yeah.
these other laissez-faire and lackadaisical parents, they had these kids that were just fucking garbage.
Yeah.
And because he was so tough and so strict on us, it made us who we are today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I would have just had, like, one of these fucking helicopter free-range parents, like, oh, go out and do what the fuck you want to do whenever you want,
Yeah.
you know, I would have been trash, dude. But we had also our freedom. Like, you remember riding bikes around the neighborhood? He was like, you don't cross this stop sign, you go over there, and you
Right.
go
Yeah.
there.
Right.
You come back for
Boundaries.
lunch, and then you come back before the streetlights come on, because if the streetlights come on, I'm beating your ass.
Boundaries. Yeah.
Right? And we followed those boundaries, but at the same time, we went beyond the boundaries sometimes.
Yeah.
And they never knew.
Yeah.
But we were also like, all right, look, huddle up. We're about to go past the stop sign.
Yeah.
Okay, first time ever. Nobody fucking says anything. It was like little mob shit. No
Yeah.
one says anything. We take an oath. No one says anything. We don't start no shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
If we get in trouble, they're going to know.
That's it. Yeah.
So we can go, but don't, real quick. But that was like, I guarantee he knew we were going to break
Yeah.
all those
But
rules.
you,
'cause
once
he
you
probably
cross,
broke all those
you
rules.
cross the boundary, but you cross it with like
With
care.
care and
Yeah.
carefully.
Carefully. You're just like,
Yeah.
okay, like.
Doing
so
dangerous
we're
things
here-
carefully.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Do with
Oh,
my
Jordan
kids, dude.
Peterson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Jordan Peterson said
My
that.
kids do dangerous.
That's where you learn.
Shit
Yeah.
carefully.
Yeah,
That's where you learn.
we had this conversation. I think this was like early on our
Yeah, it must
podcast.
have
Yeah.
been.
Okay, because you said something. You said that your dad grew up with 4 boys or something, or he was what?
No, my mom grew up with 4 brothers.
4 brothers. Okay.
But my dad was the oldest in the family and came here when he was 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk about
13
how.
maybe.
Okay, so you're the oldest of 5 boys,
I
right?
am, yes.
Was it? Oh, you have daughters or daughter?
I have, so my firstborn is a boy. My oldest is my son, Jerzy. He'll be 6. My daughter is literally, they're like Irish twins. They're like 13 and a half months apart.
Oh, okay.
So they look like twins.
Uh-huh.
So my first is a boy, second is a girl, my third is a boy.
Okay.
So I got a boy, girl, boy.
Okay. So then, with your daughter, how is that dynamic? Because you grew up with boys around you your whole life. So was it like different at all, or like
So different.
what was it like?
So different, dude. It was like, first off, she was like a little boy for the first year. She was a bully, dude. I was like, yo, I'm raising a little Ronda Rousey, fucking Shevchenko, little badass kid. She would beat the shit out of everybody, dude.
Oh my god.
But also that came because my sister-in-laws, right, Nora and Nita and all that, would help watch the kids. Like, it's like a little community, like that. Literally, it takes a village.
Yeah.
It takes a village, dude. The girls would all come together, and that's what we're having girls is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
my wife's sisters would come help. My mom, my mother-in-law, they would come help watch the kids. Don't get me wrong. My brothers would come. My dad would come. but
It's
they're-
different though.
We're ill-equipped
It's
as men.
different.
That's
It's
like
different.
we're ill-equipped for child rearing.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
different.
The wolves are here. The hordes are at the gates. Cool. That's where I shine. That's where I thrive.
Yeah.
Let me go fuck some shit up. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I gotta breastfeed this baby. Nah, it's,
Can't do
you know,
that. Yeah.
Physically can't.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
Literally,
cannot do it.
physically. I don't care what the fuck society says. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay. But then having a girl was like, oh my god, like I have this little princess and all that.
Yeah.
You know, but I was like, but I'm not gonna raise her to be a little princess. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta raise her to be a little badass. And I'd always said, if I have a daughter, if God ever blesses me with a daughter, and I always wanted 5 boys.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers were like, yeah, 5 boys each, 25 nephews. That's a fucking football team.
Yeah.
We got a squad. We got a little, everything. But I told my dad, I'm like, I feel bad you didn't have a girl. Because I see how he interacts with her. And he just is like, she can do no wrong. He melts.
Yeah.
He melts. It's a whole different type of love. Right? Daddy's little girl is a thing. But I also want to raise her to be tough.
Yeah.
Right? So I'd always said, if I have a girl, I'm going to teach her all the little tricks that boys play on girls. Right? And that men play on women. Right? Because I had acquaintances, or I would see guys that would, pull a game on girls and try to pull all that. Oh, I love you and I this and that. I, for the most part, when I was dating girls and all that, I was very upfront with them. I was like, I don't love you. I like you.
Yeah.
Cool. By the way, I'm never going to marry you. Like, what? Like, we're 13 years old.
Yeah.
Like, never lied because my dad was always like, lying is bad. Like, don't lie to people. Sometimes don't be so fucking honest.
Yeah.
You know, water it down. But lying is not a good thing because the way he explained it to me, when you lie to somebody, that means you're afraid of them. You're afraid, so you have to make up something. So I used to live my whole life like, I'm not afraid of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't got to lie to him for what? What's he going to do? He's going to beat my ass? Good luck. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to lie to you, or you're not going to talk to me? I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to tell you the truth. Hey, does this make me look fat? A little bit. I'm also not going to be an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But also don't
But I
ask
expect
that.
it like,
Don't ask
hey,
somebody that.
Don't ask
Because
me.
the answer's
you don't
going
wanna
to be
hear
no.
the truth.
Yeah, the answer's going to be
I'll
no.
ask my wife, I'll be like, hey, you know, because fashion is, I like to be comfortable. But
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
I got a little bit of fashion sense.
Yeah.
Nothing like my brother Frankie. He knows how to put some shit together, and I'm just like, damn,
Frank got
dude.
style, Albert got style too.
Albert got styled. If I tried to wear the exact same outfit, I would look like a dork. It just don't work on me.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But also, they know how to put together an ensemble, right? My wife got fashion sense. So I'll ask her all the time, like, yo, does this go?
Yeah.
She's like, eh. I'm like, what should I do? She's like, this. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. How about this? Not bad.
Yeah.
Like, I tell them, like, please be honest.
honest,
She's
yeah.
like, oh, I will.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to say, damn, look how I dressed you. And I'm like, oh, you asshole. She's funny like that.
Yeah.
Fucking guachais.
Yeah. We got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, but it's like, with my daughter, I'm very, and with my kids in general, I try to be very honest with them. Except about, like, Santa.
I mean,
was just
yeah,
about
yeah,
to say
there's-
Santa Claus. I was literally about
Dude,
to say
it's so, like, it's such an innocent little
Because
thing.
it's
No,
so
you gotta have
beautiful.
that.
It is.
It
It is.
really
And
is
you know
that
what?
magic that they get to experience
They're
for
so
just a little bit.
free.
And it didn't do anyone wrong.
No,
I believed
man.
in Santa for fucking 10 years of my life.
I
and
swear.
It was the best experience ever.
Yeah.
To
Till
think that somebody...
society is gonna beat them down. Society is gonna make them less empathetic. It's we have a cold ass world.
Yeah.
It's a cold ass world. That's a song. That's something from somewhere. I just
Yeah.
know that's a phrase from some kind of rap song. But it literally is a cold ass world out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to give these kids as much warmth as I can because the world is gonna be cold enough. And right now they are free.
Yeah.
They are the definition of freedom. You're never going to be that free ever again. That's when you're a kid.
Swear.
You're so free.
I
You
know,
don't
right?
answer to nobody.
miss those days, man.
All they got to do is get up and go to school. And you know what? If they don't feel good that day, fuck it.
Yeah. They don't...
Me, if I don't feel good that day, I'm still going into work sick as a dog.
Yep.
You know, because why? Because daddy got to make that money today.
Yeah.
Because I got to feed these motherfucking kids.
I swear.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
But with my daughter, I try to explain things to her a little different because she is more sensitive,
Yeah.
right? She is more sensitive. She is more dramatic.
Yeah.
Everything is more, oh, puppy, oh, you know. And I'm like, come here, Poca, Poca. I
Yeah,
call her
yeah.
my Poca.
Yeah.
Because I used to call her Shoka.
Uh-huh.
And my grandma didn't like it. Pozdri, filha, she was like, must say they're shock. I'm like, no, but it's so cute, you know, little shock. And she's like, no, don't, must say so goy, and don't teach your mouth that way.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we would say it like as a, literally it means like, little son of a bitch.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It don't make sense in English.
Yeah, no, but it makes
doesn't,
sense
but
in
it-
Nobody.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll call her my little Poca Yaka Taka. You know, so I'm my little Yaka Yaka Poca. And I come up with these weird gibberish phrases.
Uh-huh.
And now they call her Poca.
Yeah.
Poca's her little nickname. Iya,
Aw.
Lydia.
Uh-huh.
But that's her little thing. So every now and again, I got to explain something to her. Be like, take a deep breath. Slow down. Shh, don't be dramatic.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Listen, this is... And when I do that, she just looks at me. She's like, Bobby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like so different with a girl because women are nuts. And she's not a woman yet, but she's going to eventually be a little crazy. She's going to be a crazy little woman. Right? But girls are just like that way. With my sons, I'm a little tougher, but I'm also empathetic in a different way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like my son does something and I'm like, get your ass over here. What's wrong with you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Get over here. Give him a little spank. You know, nothing hard, but like a little, you know.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
hey, get over here. Sit down. I always make my sons look me in the eye. And I feel like that builds character as a man.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm like, sit down, and they're all, because the first thing they do when I tell them they did something wrong is they put
They
their
look
head
down. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, look me in my eyes. Look me in the eyes, and it's for two reasons. Number one, I want you to understand what I'm saying. Number two, don't ever let somebody fucking make you put your head down. They don't realize that now.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever actually told anyone this, but I'm like, don't ever fucking, måste mig onkryt. That makes, it's a whole different phrase in Albania. Måste mig onkryt. Don't ever fucking lower your head down.
Yeah.
Right? Don't ever let somebody bring you down because you either made a mistake or they said something to you or no, you hold your head up with fucking pride.
Yeah.
Even though I'm wrong, I understand I'm wrong. I made a mistake. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But don't think you can little bro me or you can son me.
Yeah.
Right? No man can have dominance over you. Don't ever let him have that authority. Don't ever let him have that ability over you.
Yeah, I like
Fuck
that.
that motherfucker. Right? So when I tell my kids, and obviously I'm their father, they respect me. They fear me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which is good. Fear is love to an extent. I was afraid of disappointing my parents, afraid of getting my ass beat. Right, but it was also love because if I didn't love them, I wouldn't be afraid of them at the same time. It's a weird little dynamic.
Yeah.
Right? You get into Machiavelli. Is it better to be feared? Is it better to be loved? Yeah. Philosophy. But with my kids, I'm like, I want them to feel that, but also, no, look me in my eyes because you're still going to be a man. You're still a human being.
Mm-hmm.
You still deserve respect, even at 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And you have to teach and nurture that at a young age because they're fucking sponges.
Yeah.
At that age. There's shit I remember when I was 3, 4 years old that my mom and dad are like, are you kidding me? I'm like, yeah. I have like this weird, like, did this happen? And they're like, yeah.
Dude, yeah.
How do you? And my wife's like, how the hell you don't know where you put your keys yesterday? Like, what the hell,
But
dude?
you remember that shit?
But I remember this from 35 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nuts. So I try to like, it's like a weird dichotomy with the kids. It's also, yes, I want you to know you messed up, but like, look me in the eyes.
Yeah.
1, to understand, and 2, keep that head up.
Mm-hmm.
You messed up, but you still have respect as a person.
Yeah.
And hopefully that'll translate to their life so that when they have a conflict with someone, you're going to have conflict. It's life. But hopefully that lesson, when he has conflict with another person, he will have that conflict in a respectful way where he won't demean this other person because at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Yeah.
Right? We're all under the same moon, same earth, same God.
Yeah.
Right? We're all people. We're all the same race at the end of the day, the human race. Right? So I want my kid, even when he's got a conflict with someone, to be able to look that person in the eye and be like, you know, you're wrong, or you're right, or you're this. Or when they want to demean them, because I've done this, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I look them dead in the fucking eye.
Yeah.
And it burns through, and they're like, damn.
Yeah.
So
he
either
means it.
one of two things. Either it's going to break them down, or we're going to fight.
Yeah.
But either way, you know exactly where I stand as a man. And I also do that with my daughter. But I do it in a gentle way.
I was gonna
My
ask
sons,
that.
I'm like, hey, right here.
Uh-huh.
Yo, hey, you, right there. My daughter, I'm like, hey,
Uh-huh.
pick your head up.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like a princess, like you should.
Yeah.
Hey, pick your head up. Hey, look at me. You okay? It's okay. Bam. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen. Hey, here's this. Boo, 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 boo.
He's doing it to me.
Yeah. And over here, I'm like, hey, whoa, yo. But
no, I love that. No, but I wanted to ask because you grew up with such like a boy-heavy dynamic, but
Yeah.
like, and then raising a little girl probably just like changed you just in a little bit of way,
did.
and then having to also navigate the differences between.
dude, and I see with my dad.
Yeah.
Kids are playing in the backyard. My daughter falls down. He's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. He picks her up. Oh, pasta juicy.
Yeah.
Jerzy and Benny are fighting over a ball, and I'm like, hey, let him go. My dad's like, no, let him fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see who's going to get it. Come on.
See what happens.
Let him go. Jersey's bigger and stronger. He should get it. But hey, the little one's putting up a fight, you know?
I love
and I'm
that.
like, this was their entertainment back in the day when they didn't have TV and
All
Instagram.
5 of you guys.
Yeah, just let them fight, dude. Little kid fucking UFC.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. All right. I don't have anything else.
I think it's good.
I don't know if we have enough.
No, we might need another 30 minutes. Pull something up.
We got 30 more minutes?
No, we're gone.
I was going to say, Jesus, you want to know what it was like being the oldest? It sucked. I got the shit kicked out of me, and they all got babied for things that I would have gotten murdered over.
It'd be like that.
Sure.
You were the guinea pig.
I was such a guinea pig. Even my mom was like, yeah, we fucked up a little bit, you know, a little here, a little there, but we did okay.
Yeah, she did what she could.
They learn as they go on.
Yeah.
Dude,
Thanks for coming.
thanks for having me.
Thank
This
you,
was
Luigi,
fun.
for real.
You can come back anytime, whenever we ask.
Yeah.
I always say that to you. I'm like, you can come back anytime.
Yeah, and
like,
I go,
when we ask.
yeah, when we ask
I
you.
will flat out come on anytime.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Next time we'll pick a topic. Because
Yeah.
this was like, hey, so for whoever doesn't know, total like freeballed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
100%.
hey, we just boom.
Yeah,
and
usually I have like a list of stuff. I brought out boxing. That was the only
Yeah.
thing I had, and then
Yeah, we knew we were going to talk about boxing, but no, we'll definitely have you on for like some conspiracy shit.
we'll have another
Especially if
conspiracy
something comes
theory
up.
episode. Yeah,
Like if something comes up, like
Oh,
new.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's some things going on with the Swiss Bank and Credit Suisse. And
Yeah.
You didn't see the banking little thing?
I
All
heard
right, you
something
two
was
have this
Switzerland.
conversation later.
All
have to go home.
for another time.
But another time. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.